So, welcome to another episode of Swamp Inside Florida Athletics. I'm your host, Anthony Beck, along with my co-host,
Jerry Brown.
And last but not least, Marcus Davis.
Yes,
Hey.
sir.
How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good, bro. On the way back home, about to be inside the house in a few seconds, few minutes. Get this thing kicked off, man. It's exciting.
Shit, we good over here, man. Waiting for Jared to get his ass home. Not eating that darn pizza.
Oh, God.
By the way, that was unnecessary, Jerry. But we got a special guest joining us tonight. He is one of the hosts of Hunt and Hill on 1045 ESPN in Baton Rouge. We have Hunt Palmer joining us tonight. Hunt, how you doing tonight?
Doing awesome, guys. How are y'all?
Doing pretty good. As we know, this is a huge week. As we have Florida and LSU playing this Saturday. One of the most underrated and best rivalries out there, if I'm going to say so myself. I guess we got a few questions for you, Hunt. I guess first off, for me, I want to kind of get an update on Will Campbell because I heard there was a medical scare before the Tennessee game. So I just wanted to see if there was an update on him and how he's doing.
Yeah, the update came Monday at lunchtime. He sent an Instagram post out from the hospital on Friday night late, which basically indicated, hey, this is not going to be a guy you're going to see on the field against Tennessee. Sounds like there was some pretty significant dehydration issues, needed some medical attention. He was not released from the hospital until Monday afternoon. They had done enough tests on him to determine he was safe to go. No update after that on Monday, but just connecting the dots. You've got an 18-year-old young man who spent a couple nights in the hospital. I don't think it's realistic to expect to see him out there on the field. It sounds like everything is in the past right now, but they certainly got to monitor him. So I would be surprised if he played on Saturday.
Yeah, as a former player, I played in high school. I actually saw a teammate dehydrated, and seeing that it's a very, very scary sight. So I'm just glad that he's doing okay, and that he's back with his teammates. But it's definitely a scary situation. So with that, also talking about this game and this team, kind of wanted to ask about what you've seen so far with LSU, because I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at how both LSU and Florida played this year. They seem evenly matched, and the numbers seem very similar. So what have you seen from this LSU team so far this year?
This is the first real rebuild in Baton Rouge since Nick Saban took over for Jerry DiNardo. And Nick Saban came in, cleaned house, and started to do things his way. And when he stepped out the door, you kept the entire strength and conditioning department. You kept Jimbo Fisher as your offensive coordinator under Les Miles. You had a bunch of first-round picks that were coming with Jamarcus Russell and Dwayne Bowe and LaRon Landry and all these guys that LSU had brought in. And Les inherited a Ferrari, and he drove it pretty well for over a decade. But when Les was fired, Ed Ogeron took over as the interim. He fired Cam Cameron and kept Steve Ensminger as the offensive coordinator, kept Dave Aranda as defensive coordinator, kept Corey Raymond, kept basically the entire staff, and they just kind of made some adjustments. LSU walked off the Texas Bowl field last year with 38 scholarship players and a wide receiver playing quarterback. The program had been ripped to the studs and needed a total overhaul, and that's what LSU's dealing with right now. They've only got about 65 scholarship players that are healthy and ready to go, about 20 under what you would like to have. And they're installing new systems on both sides of the ball for the third year in a row. So it's a work in progress. There is a little bit of talent, but not the amount that you generally see from LSU. There aren't a lot of pros on this team that are playing. So they're finding their way. I think they've been pretty solid on defense for the most part and really don't have any sort of identity on offense. Their quarterback is a super athlete in Jaden Daniels, but he doesn't see the field super well. The offensive line is kind of in shambles with guys that are moving around, injuries left and right. They're trying to figure some things out, and they don't have those usual pros at running back that they normally do. So it's a flawed team, a team that's playing hard, a team that has not lost its last game of the year, but the hope is that they can find a way over the last 2 months to win a couple here and there and keep recruiting and try to restock those shelves.
That
Yeah,
sounds eerily similar to our situation right now. And that there's pieces, but there's still rebuild going on. We're trying to find our way and gotta keep recruiting things like that. So as far as injuries and the offensive system is gone, there's been a lot of up and down with it from what I've seen and what people have said for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So what's the rundown so far as offense?
Yeah, they went with Jaden Daniels, and he is an exceptional athlete. I mean, you're now seeing him in person a little bit. He is SEC wide receiver fast, not like a pretty fast. I mean, just like the one that y'all got there in Anthony Richardson. These guys are that good an athlete. And LSU has great wide receivers. Kayshon Boutte, his production is almost nil this year, but he's an All-American type talent. I think Malik Neighbors is in that department. Jack Besh was a proven commodity last year. Jeray Jenkins has been unbelievably productive for 5 years at wide receiver. They got guys at wide receiver. They're not getting them the ball because the offensive line is really struggling to hold up. Jaden Daniels has happy feet and will just tuck it and go. And when he tucks it and goes, he doesn't do a good job of keeping his head down the field and trying to get the ball to those guys. So the best, in terms of talent, the best position on this team is wide receiver, and they can't get them the ball because the offensive line doesn't hold up and the quarterback bails pretty quickly.
Yeah, we've had that kind of situation before ourselves, and looking at both these quarterbacks, they're eerily similar, except one's a little bit bigger weight wise, but they're similar players, and then looking at your defensive line, I know you guys lost Mason Smith early in the season during the first game, so like who have you seen that stepped up at that position in his absence?
Yeah, in his absence, it's been Mekhi Wingo, who they got in the transfer portal from Missouri. He was an all-SEC freshman last year and has really stepped up and done a nice job for him. Jaquelin Roy's on the other side at tackle, who's going to be a top 65 pick in the NFL draft, I would say. He's been very good. And that's the interior that they're working with. On the outside, they've got Ali Gay and BJ Ojulari. Ojulari's made some highlight plays this year, namely in the Auburn game. LSU couldn't get anything going on offense, and he just figured out a way to get a strip sack, and they scored a touchdown on it, and was part of the reason they won that game. But that defensive line really did a good job against Florida State, was really awesome against Auburn, did a great job against Mississippi State, which I didn't think they would be a factor because State doesn't run it much and they get the ball out so quick. But they had some sacks in that game and played well. They got gashed by Tennessee. They did not put up a fight against the Vols. Tennessee ran it all over the field wherever they wanted, and Hendon Hooker really wasn't under any pressure except for one blitz where they got a corner home. But they got some looking in the mirror to do after that one because they got beat on Saturday.
Yeah, I will put myself on Front Street and say last week I did pick LSU to win that game because I honestly thought it was a perfect setup. I thought, Tennessee is going to – I thought they would come in flat, and then so not 5 minutes into the game, it was 10-0. I was like, oh, wow. Like, I was honestly shocked that the score – that it got out of hand the way it did. But, being that this is Florida and LSU, I guess what is one key to the game that you're looking for, for both teams to win, but specifically LSU?
Yeah, I think for LSU, they've got a freshman linebacker by the name of Harold Perkins, who was a top 10 player in the country last year. And they determined that last week against Tennessee wasn't a good matchup for him. I would find the matchup for him because he's that talented and has made those kind of plays in his first 2 months in Baton Rouge. If there's anybody on that defense, especially in the front, that can run with Anthony Richardson, I think Harold Perkins is that guy. And I wouldn't call it man-to-man like on a basketball court, but I would think of something like that with the athleticism that Harold Perkins has, and maybe just try to limit Richardson from making big plays in the running game, as well as picking up those pesky first downs when the play breaks down on 3rd and 7, and he's able to pick up 9 or 10. I think LSU defensively, there you would look to Harold Perkins. Offensively, if you're Florida, I'm sending pressure because if any sign of pressure, Jaden Daniels is going to tuck the football and start to run, and that eliminates LSU's wide receivers from the football game, which is what we saw in the game against Florida State in the first half and what we saw really for 4 quarters against Tennessee. So both quarterbacks present a very similar threat, as y'all were saying. Just a matter of who contains that the best, I think, is probably the key.
If I'd see that, and for us, I'd probably flip it and say on defense. And you say you have a lot of time at wide receiver, and we've had some issues in the back end, especially at safety. So if we get open on us, that's probably going to be the bread and butter. And offensively, for us, we've had play call issues every now and then some accuracy stuff, but that stuff that can be cleaned up a little bit. But for us, it's mostly just run the football. We have 2 running backs in Montrell Johnson and Trevor Etienne who can do a lot of good things. And Cyrus Torrance at guard, he's probably the one guy you want to circle.
Yeah, well, Billy brought him from Lafayette right down the road from us to plug into that offensive line, and apparently he's been awesome thus far.
And we had so many complaints from some sections that said, well, why are you bringing in guys from Lafayette? Why are you bringing guys from Lafayette? Well, turns out 2 of those guys are our best players on the offense, so good call, Billy.
LSU's got Mekhi Garner playing corner, who's been one of the bright spots in the cornerback position. So, look, Coach Napier had a good team over there at Louisiana.
Oh, absolutely. Those are some really talented players over there. He did a real good job. Thank God he's our coach. I'll say that much.
Yeah, he absolutely had a great team because I know Florida was in on Mekhi Garner as well. And I think Kyron Lacey came from
he did
as well and went to LSU as well. So yeah, he had a lot of talented players that have come into the SEC and made a major impact. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where we'd be in the running back room without Montrell Johnson.
We'd be stuck. It'd be Trevor Etienne and nobody else.
It'd pretty much be that. And Osiris Torrance for us is cleaned up an area on our offensive line that we desperately needed cleaning up there. So, both teams getting transfers from Louisiana is working out great for both teams. And I wanted to ask about Kayshon Boutte and because watching LSU this year, it doesn't seem to be a whole lot of chemistry between him and Jaden Daniels. So is that has that been a concern this year for you guys?
There just hadn't been any consistency in the passing game, period. And so what's been the result of that is even when guys have gotten open, there have been drops because wide receiver and for whatever reason, every play is different, but feels like some of the wide receivers are having trouble staying engaged because it's just so infrequent that the ball is on time and where it's supposed to be because Jaden Daniels wants to run. And look, Jaden Daniels running, I make it out to be this huge detriment to the offense. It's an asset to the offense because they can't really do much else, but it is hindering their ability to get the ball down the field to the best players on the team, Booty included, because he just doesn't sit back there enough. He either doesn't have the time back there, or when he does, he doesn't think he does, and he gets moving with his feet, and then his eyes come down, and it's a run play.
Now, if there were ever a game for either one of these teams to get right, it would be this one because historically this game has a lot of mess happening in it. I remember 4th downs in 2007, fake field goals, goal line stops. Like, there's ever a chance for both teams to finally get, back on track, it would be this game.
Oh, let's not forget a thrown shoe.
Oh, that too. I was trying to forget that, but
yeah, I try to forget about that, but
I was in the press box that night in Gainesville. Couldn't really see the field because of all the fog, but I was there. That's one of the most crazy things I've ever seen.
Hunt, when I tell you, I literally almost lost my TV after seeing that. It was not a good feeling for me seeing him throw that shoe. Because it was 3rd down, and you got to think about the situation. I mean, it's going to be automatic first down anyway, but it was 3rd down, you get a stop, and then that happens.
And I mean, that whole thing, it was one of the most memorable games I've ever been to. I've been to a lot of LSU games in my day now, covering the team, going to school there, and going there growing up. And between the fog, the shoe being thrown, the 57-yard field goal, the fact that LSU had no players left, I mean, it was just one of the most memorable games I've ever been a part of. I don't know if it was one of the best played, but memorable for sure.
That's usually what I say about a lot of these games. They're usually not that well played, but there's so much talent that things just happen. Like I remember the first game in the swamp I ever went to was 2014 against LSU. Drop touchdown, Leonard Fournette running somebody over in the end zone, a 3rd and 26. Jamal Adams being an absolute nuisance and getting personal foul fouls called against us. It was the funniest game I've ever seen live in my entire life.
Les had some really good players there at the end. He just couldn't get it done. There were some real dudes on those LSU teams at the end of the Les era.
Jerry, you had any questions?
I'm trying to get everything set up right now. I think a question I would have for you, man, they probably already asked. As far as the connection with Jaden and Keyshawn Butte, how do you feel like they will be coming into the Swamp? You know, the Swamp is one of the toughest places in the country, especially at night. I will be there making it tougher. But how do you feel like their connection will be going to that game? Do you feel like they'll be able to salvage anything?
Look, Brian Kelly has been pretty forthcoming with the media throughout game weeks about what their plan is to do. After the Florida State game, they came back the next week. They were at home playing against Southern. They said, look, we got to get Keyshawn the ball. First 2 plays, they got Keyshawn the ball. The next week after that, they said, yeah, we got to get Jack Besh more involved. They put him back at punt return. They threw him a couple balls. He scored a touchdown. Every time he said something, it's happened. And last week he said, we've got to throw the ball down the field. We have not taken enough risks. That's why we don't have a single interception, which sounds like a good thing, but it really means you're not trying to put pressure on the defense. And they didn't really take shots last weekend. They took 2 and didn't complete either one of them. So I think the goal is to get the ball down the field. They just show no ability to do it to this point.
Okay. And, man, I think honestly, and, being an unbiased Gator fan here, I think if you see a certain player on the field, I say you got to take a shot downfield. There's one guy, and I'm sure if you're a head coach, you see the guy out there, you definitely want to take a shot down the field, try to, get him to have to read multiple things on defense. He's a certain guy that one of our guys on here to, kind of had something with, but you got to throw at him, and you got to attack him. And if I'm LSU, I feel like I'm coming at them all game. And then even as far as running the football, our defensive line, we don't have a lot of depth. I would say run at us too. I mean, just do what you can. I think there's like this crazy stat out that whoever rushes for the most yards in the LSU Florida game has won like the last 5-6 games or something like that. It's been crazy. So I'd say run the football, try to establish.
Definitely won the last game doing it. I know that's for sure.
It's just how it goes.
Sorry for my celebration on here. I'm watching the Yankee game as well, so sorry about that.
All good. Y'all got one more for me before I bounce?
Yeah, I guess we can get a score prediction. For
Yeah.
I've been so wrong on every game this year. I thought LSU would beat Florida State. They didn't. I thought LSU would get dusted by Mississippi State. They played a really good game and beat them. And I thought LSU had a good chance to win the game last week, and they got smoked. So I've been way off. I think this team is a little bit off from going down to the Swamp and going to get a win. I've seen Richardson. It sounds like he's really up or really down is what this is telling me. You get one of those down games and LSU gets a turnover or 2 and makes a big play. I could see it, but I'd probably pick Florida to win the game. Not too high score, maybe 24-16 or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say one thing. Getting score predictions on Florida LSU football games is like betting on baseball.
It's impossible. Impossible.
It's pretty much impossible because, as we all know, like weird stuff happens in this game all the time. So
every time.
That's what makes it such a great game when you think about it.
All right, boys. Appreciate y'all having me. I'm gonna bounce.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for coming on, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Y'all be well.
Yes, sir. You as well.
That was Hunt Palmer joining us tonight.
Shout out to that man for coming
on short notice too. I mean,
yeah.
Nothing gets lined up, but they couldn't make it tonight. So yeah, we definitely appreciate him for coming on such short notice. And you can follow him on Twitter at HuntPalmer88. And remember, and also he's, as I said, he's the co-host of Hunt and Hill from 1 to 3 Central Time weekdays on 1045 ESPN. So and make sure y'all follow him and keep up with them. Especially LSU fans. Also, I'm pretty sure y'all follow him. So y'all continue to get his follows up.
Absolutely, you heard the man.
And now that Jerry has finally graced us with his presence without a phone and without pizza in his hand, eating it.
You can see him. He got his do-rag on, man. You look good, Jerry. You look good.
Hey, man, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate
like
it.
With the Jerry. But yeah, you do.
Anyway, shoot, it's good that we got our guy on here early, man, and kind of got that out of the way. We got a lot of stuff to discuss, and we got that part out. I just kind of want to continue on John, the man, the myth, the legend. By the way, what's going on, man?
What up, John?
You here? Yes, sir.
By the way, if you want to come on too, you can. I mean, open invitation.
Tennessee, Alabama is playing, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
feel free. But I just want to continue upon what we were talking about. How are we feeling about the game this weekend coming up?
Yeah, I know how I feel. I'm on pins and needles.
Yeah.
Pins and needles, but also
confident. You're always confident, AB. You be playing against the Cowboys. You be confident, right?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, not against that defense. No.
First off, I just want to say, from my point of view, I absolutely hate LSU. I hate everything about them. I respect them very much, but I hate them. I hate the pain that they brought me over the last 10 years. God. I hate the fact that Les Miles had a fake field goal and the
bro
threw it over his head. I hate the fact that Brad Wing fleeced us.
That was a forward pass, by the way. I don't care what anybody says.
I hate that Eddie Pinheiro missed a field goal. I mean, I hate that Marco Wilson threw a shoe.
I hate that man's playing Baton Rouge when the game was supposed to be in Gainesville.
Hey, hold on. Hold on, real quick on that. As much as I hated it, I loved it for one reason.
You won it. That's right.
The end result is why I loved it. You made us play in Baton Rouge, and it was supposed to be in Gainesville. And look what happened. And on top of that, ended up winning the SEC East with that win.
Yeah,
right.
Now, of course, we got dump trucked in that game, but hey,
it worked out. Yeah, we got to the dance. That's all that matters. Sometimes get to the dance.
I think
we'll lose that game when we scored that first touchdown and T. Saber had tears in his eyes.
Oh yeah, that was funny, bro.
Remember that?
We knew we were gonna win. They knew.
That's when we knew T's Tabor wasn't going to be a generational talent in NFL. But I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, then you found out he wasn't going to be a generational talent when he saw his 40 time.
But I don't know, man. I'm a little worried. I'm always worried about LSU games because you never know what's going to happen.
Dumb shit happens in these games. It doesn't matter who.
Right.
Things just happen.
Yeah, but if you look back historically. Like I said to Hunter, look at the team with the best rushing attack over the last some odd years. The team with the best, they win the game. We can go back to 2012. Mike Gillisley, best running back in that game, best rushing attack. We won. 2013. Hill, that was Jeremy Hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Hill, J.C. Copeland, and Kenny Hilliard, I think, were the running backs.
Kenny Hilliard.
And they won. And they won 2014, 2015. We know who the running backs were. we know Leonard Fournette was him, and they beat us. 2016, we had Scarlett. We won. Scarlett and Pirine. 2017, we're not gonna talk about that year. But
let's not talk about that.
Yeah, just throw that in the trash.
2018, we found a way.
I was there.
Way to get more rushing yards. We used Kadarius Toney. In the Wildcat, we also found a way to get Felipe Frank some yards. I mean, we found a way to get rushing yards.
Louisiana native Brad Stewart icing the game.
Yeah, and he iced the game. So, I mean, man, we just got to find a way we got to run the football. We can't force Anthony Richardson to be a pocket passer. We need to run the football about 35 times. Is
this not what we've all been saying all season long in terms of play call all year? Run the football?
It's a must. Run the ball. Anthony Richardson, if you see an open seam, run the football. Run the football.
We have Jonathan Lewis joining us tonight. We appreciate you for coming on.
No problem. What's going on, guys? It's been a while. It feels like forever.
Yeah. Was it week 1?
Wow.
Yeah, man. I've been sick off and on. I was in the hospital for 3 days.
Dude.
Yeah, I got real sick, man. So ended up getting diverticulitis. So yeah, well, it turned from colitis into diverticulitis. But either way, getting past that, the football season, bro. And Alabama this upcoming week gets Tennessee, and LSU and Florida. I'm looking forward to, man. Have you guys paid attention to Vegas at all in this game?
Which one?
The Florida LSU game, dude. There is no faith in LSU to win this game. If you go look at the numbers where the money's at, the money's piling on Florida.
Why though?
It's because I'm telling you right now, it has a lot to do with Jaden, the quarterback at LSU. You guys bring a unique situation on the defense that he struggles with a lot. And when you look at the zone scheme you guys run on defense, the guy he struggles really bad with multiple scheme on the back end, and that's exactly what you guys run. And I feel like the closer this game gets, and it's in obviously Ben Hill, right? It's in Florida.
Yeah.
But when you look at the money coming in, at first it was like, I want to say it was 6.5 point spread, and it's already down to 2.5. And now it's actually flipped on its head to where, yeah, Florida's a 2.5 point favorite now. Wow. So in the money in the over under moved quite a bit as well. So, but yet the power index is saying LSU by 62.8%.
Bro. Wow.
So yeah, it shows you, man, how things can move like that, and how like the closer, because the thing about it is, man, I don't know if you guys saw the USC Oregon State Vegas debacle that happened that cost Vegas millions of dollars. So they came out with a line that was like, I want to say 17 or 18.5 point spread. That game should have been most been probably 5. So if they said like people were coming in, I think the first 24 hours, it was like $4 million dumped in on Oregon State. It ended up costing Vegas a lot of money. So that mistake won't happen again. But the funny thing is it actually kind of did in this instance. Because if you look at the matchup, in my opinion, I'm not going to say I'm not going to say like 100% you guys are going to win. But if you look at the matchup, it favors Florida, in my opinion, more than it does LSU. Mm. Like, you know what I mean? So from a non-biased standpoint, if I'm a bettor, man, I love Vegas. When I look at this game, I like Florida in this game because of the matchup. I go back and look at historically how Brian Kelly does against the spread. He's horrible. Like, I mean, when you dig into numbers like that, man,
just
like there's
Florida State. I mean, they were what double-digit favorite that game.
I don't think LSU's actually hit their number once this year. Now that I think about it, Brian Kelly, I think, is like 18% on Vegas lines.
Jesus Christ!
No, he's horrible on the lines.
Man.
And there's a reason why I can't stand him. Like, as a bettor, as someone that bets on football, you absolutely can't stand Brian Kelly because he'll never hit the mark. Yeah. He's either going to overshoot it and beat Mississippi State by 30 points, or he's going to lose his ass. Yeah, one of the two is going to end up happening with Brian Kelly. And this game is set up, I'm telling you. If it was at LSU, I think it would be a completely different story. But with it being in the swamp, Anthony Richardson, he's so uneven, bro. He's not even kiltered at all. So, me, I love the kid. I think he has so much ability. But which one are you going to get? Because if he comes out, runs the ball, like you said, stays, if they're playing man coverage like they do most of the time and their backs are turned, he can have 150 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Like, easily. Like, no joke. And I think that's the big mark to hit and really pay attention to is, does Billy Napier take advantage of the fact there's going to be man coverage all across the board?
Right.
When their backs are turned, does he take off? Because if I was talking to him, bro, forget about your passing stats. We don't care. We need 100 yards out of you. We need 15 carries, something like that.
Bingo. That's exactly what we all been asking for.
And when you look at him, you can clearly see the talent and why NFL scouts are salivating over him. You can see it, but it's these little mistakes that he's making.
Bro,
where like, I don't know.
If he ever gained touch on a short to intermediate throw, he would be unstoppable.
Yep. Like, there's no stopping
He's
him.
like a Rollins Chapman out there throwing the fastball. Like, even if it's a 4-hour pitch, it's coming at 100 miles an hour.
Bro, Alabama fans are getting a taste of that with Jalen Milroe. Like this dude
Bro,
has no
I was about
touch.
to say, when you watch Jalen Milroe, like he's one of those kids, and I compare him to AR. You can tell they don't know how strong they are.
Yep.
So when they throw the ball, it's like
breaking fingers almost. Like, dude, really, Trayshawn Holden came out of the game because of it. He got hurt and they thought it was his back. And no, what it was is he basically tipped a slant from Milroe and it dislocated his finger. So it's like, bro, you need to relax. Because I don't know if you guys ever heard the stories of Brett Favre. He was breaking wide receivers' fingers, like literally at Southern Miss. And when he first got to the NFL, like, so they had to like literally teach him how to throw the ball. Like, and Jalen has that problem. Even the interception he threw, it's like, bro, you don't need to throw 110 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no need for that.
Dial it back a little bit. It's a slant. Put a little on it, but take some off.
Yes. Like, dude, you could lob it a little bit. Come on.
Now, you can see like some of our wide receivers, when they catch the ball, they like, because it's so hard. It's like a fastball. So,
well, it gives you no leniency. It doesn't give the receiver any leniency to make, maybe he's a half step behind or a half step ahead. So if it's coming at you that fast, if it's not directly on time and perfect, it creates, it could have been an 80-yard gain versus a 4-yard gain.
Yep.
So, that touch, man. But how are you guys feeling with Billy Napier so far? You like it? Yeah, I figured you guys are going to have mixed feelings at the beginning. He's going to do things the right way, man. Billy Napier is not one to bend into the BS. So you're going to have rough times like Alabama did with Nick Saban, like Mel Tucker did, and now is going through with Michigan State. He's having to revamp what he did last year because of the situation he had with the players this year.
Sure.
Yeah, man. He had damn near a riot going on because he's not giving these players what they want. And it's like, dude, like you said, he's like, I'm not your daddy, man. You play for me. You know what I mean? Like, and he lost control of the room. Do what?
He's not going to kiss your ass. So
no, that's the problem.
It's his way. And if as a player you can't accept that, then you got to go.
Yeah,
that's simple. And with Billy, I'm gonna be honest. If you would have told me that at this point we'd be 4-2, playing the toughest schedule in the country by far, I'll take it.
Yeah, and recruiting.
Realistically, I definitely would have taken it. And recruiting's up.
The recruiting hasn't fallen.
It hasn't fallen off, and it's going to improve later on this week. Is all I'll say.
You guys have a chance to capitalize on something. In all honesty, if OU recruits that are in they have 2 from Tallahassee and 1 from Lakeland. It's committed to OU right now. There's a lot of OU doubters right now. A lot of these guys are starting to unfollow. 2 of them happened today. The 2 kids from Tallahassee removed OU stuff, and they were Florida leans. Eli Ricks removed Alabama. All his stuff from Alabama, today, yes. And I know word on the street is he's made he's been in contact with Napier before, because Saban is one of those guys that will, if you're going to leave, I'm going to hook you up where I think you need to go, just like he's done with all the players. So I don't know how true that is, but I do know that he removed all his Alabama stuff today. He was at practice today, but it was later on in the evening. He deleted all of his Alabama stuff from social media.
Bro,
so
in his story, it was a picture of him in an LSU uniform also.
Yeah, but he isn't going back to LSU. He's not welcome back there. I do know that. So he definitely won't be going back there because I don't know why LSU took it personal. Brian Kelly basically said he's not coming back. Once he transferred, he's like, you're not coming back. The problem people are finding is that, like, Eli Ricks is a great player, but unfortunately he got injured at the very beginning of the season where Terrion Arnold came on really strong, and then Kyrie Jackson came on really strong, and it's like he has no place in our defense now. Like, it's a shame you see stuff like that happen, but injuries are part of the game, man.
And Bama's the worst place to get injured at, because there are way too many talented guys right behind you in that same room.
Bro, you can't. Because, like, look at Trey Sanders, bro. Look at Trey Sanders.
He is 4th string. That man was first almost 2 years ago. He was sharing with Brian Robinson, splitting carries.
Yep.
And now he can't get on the field. He didn't even get on the field last game.
It changes quick on you.
Wait, has he been on the field all year?
Yes, very, very. I mean, we're talking about garbage time. We're talking like he's had like maybe 1 or 2 carries a game.
Yeah.
Like it's been that scarce.
Well, if that's the case, we gonna at least lose one or two running backs. Trey, come on home, man.
Yeah. And we just, we're lined up to get Richard Young and Justice Haynes,
Oh my
obviously.
God.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
a lot of people are saying Trey will be gone after this season, which would make sense.
He's out of there. He's out of there, bro.
yeah, you got them two coming in. Those are
Richard Young is generational, bro. I don't care what nobody says. That man is insane.
Pen's not to the paper yet. So I'm hoping. I'm not praying to the football gods, dude, every night. Like, please don't let this kid flip.
I pray not.
If he flips, I think I know where it's going to be.
If he flips, he's going to Florida.
You
If
think so?
if Richard Young flips, he's going to Florida. Dude.
I'll say Oregon, to be honest.
No. He ain't going to Oregon.
Dante Moore.
Bro.
Word.
Dante Moore is cute and all. Like, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to Dan Lanning, he's not going to come in as a Dan Lanning. The style of offense they run, it would not fit that dude whatsoever because he's not going to be the highlight. Oregon doesn't highlight a running back, whereas Billy can bring him in and be like, dude, you can be our featured back. You know what I mean? Like run that system.
That ETN sale right now is crazy.
You
Yeah,
can
that's
he can literally say you can come in and play as a freshman. Look at Trevor. I said Travis. Damn.
I know.
Trevor right
I
now.
love Travis too. I am a Jags fan, so I love Travis too.
That dude was
my lineup, man, and put Breece Hall in.
Amen.
But he can literally sell that. He came in as a freshman and he's playing, and now he's the number 2 guy. You can come in as a freshman and maybe be the number 3 guy and still get carries.
Well, a lot is happening this week in college football. If you guys don't pay attention to recruiting, I would highly suggest pay attention this week and next week. What you're going to see is a lot of these teams falling off, like Oklahoma. You know, it always happens middle of the season, and the recruits thought there was potential there or whatever. And then you're hearing coaches moving, right? Like Nebraska has an opening. Wisconsin has an opening, right? So these coaches are going to be moving. Even Matt Rule leaving Carolina, he's probably going to end up in the college ranks somewhere, if I had to guess, as an offense coordinator. Alabama, come on. We can send Bill O'Brien somewhere.
No,
you should. He needs Bill O'Brien.
I do not want to see that.
But,
absolutely not.
I know, but
in his face, he is freaking. I'm sorry, man. He's just
go to Auburn and be the head coach.
Like,
shoot,
bro.
Terrorize.
I don't know how Brian Harsin's still there, but no.
I see why the administration the boosters trying to get rid of him in this offseason. I see why.
Dude,
I can tell you right now, Jonathan. Some of my friends are Auburn fans, and a couple of them have connections to the program. He won't be I don't believe he'll be the coach after this season.
Oh, bro, he's already gone.
Yeah, he's pretty much out of there.
He's gone, dude.
Drawn up.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
It's like Scott Frost. Like Scott Frost came into this season, he could have went undefeated, won the national championship, and they're probably going to have been like, "Thank you, but we'll see you later, bro." Like,
yeah.
Congratulations, but we don't want you here anymore. This is too much.
Won the national championship. I don't know. I think
well, you know what I mean. I'm being
one more year
facetious, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, but
still been on the hot seat. You're right.
Yeah, like, and you look at OU fans. Here's the catch-22 to this, bro. Brent Venables is catching all the crap, right? But what people better start paying attention to, and I said this at the very beginning of the year, man. If OU started catching heat, how long does Jeff Lebby stay in that hot seat? Because Jeff Lebby's too good offensive coordinator to sit there and get criticized. He only has a 2-year contract. He's not extensive, right? So the buyout would be almost nothing. So where would he go? He would leave Oklahoma, in my opinion. And that's a hell of a get for somebody. So
just in case Willie Corn doesn't work out, Billy.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, Billy be paying attention to Jeff Lebby. He's in the connection. They've already coached together. So like that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of moving parts happening this week and next week. I guarantee you, you're gonna start seeing floating around like, hey, these people are talking. You're gonna see the rumor mill start up, obviously, but a lot of it has connections with recruiting because wherever Jeff Lebby goes. Dude, he's recruited like that entire offense that they're bringing in for OU.
Let me ask you, bro. What do you think happens with – because Jaden Gibson and Nick Avers was supposed to be Gators, right? And now they're at a program that looks like it's kind of going down. Where do you see them? Like, do you see them staying there, or what's going on with them?
It's hard for me to picture them leaving now because look, nobody. I think recruits get sold this this new age recruiting, which is you come in, if you commit to us, there's a few programs. Billy Napier doesn't do it. Nick Saban doesn't do it, right? Kirby Smart doesn't do it. There's only a few that do it now. But they say, hey, when you're committed here, you will not visit somewhere else. And if you do, then we're going to start shopping elsewhere, right? So I feel like if you commit to a program like that, you have to be all in, at least for the time being, because you don't want to be labeled as that recruit that's going to pull out of that system, right? That style of recruiting and be known as that guy. I mean, me personally, if I'm a recruit and now the NIL is opened up, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like if you affected my money, dog, see you later. If this dude can hook me up, that's what I'm doing. So, because that's what Florida's got to leverage, man. Florida's got to leverage that NIL money, was it Gator Collective and everything else, and it would be smart for them to start utilizing that more. If I'm Billy Napier, you're probably going to see this year. You're probably going to see more of the satellite camp set up, probably throughout Florida. Why? Because whoever does it first is going to gain the advantage, in my opinion. And now that they're allowing the satellite camps to come back this year, you would be almost stupid to not do it. So Nick Saban's already talked about it briefly, and you're not going to hear him talk about it very much because they know that once it gets going, everybody else is going to catch back onto it, and they're going to be hitting it real quick. So, but yeah, there's a lot to recruiting in the next couple of weeks. They're also changing the transfer portal window, and they're changing the recruiting window in the next couple of months. So you got that coming up. That's what I'm saying. And these recruits will be given a timeline. So they'll all be notified, hey, if you're going to decommit or if you're going to transfer, this is your window to do it. Otherwise, it's closed and you're stuck. And that's another thing you got to really start paying attention to when you start looking at Florida recruiting and everybody else in the area. You know, how does Miami lose in the middle of Tennessee State and these guys now all of a sudden they look like they're in turmoil?
They're in shambles right now.
Right now. It's horrible.
They're committed, but I don't believe they truly are.
No.
Have you been down to Miami? Nobody.
Miami. Oh, I know. This is my favorite city in the world.
Yeah, like Tootsie's is a good spot, right? No, in all seriousness, dude. Bro, I've never been there, bro. Anyways,
I've never been.
Anyways, no, in all seriousness, though, man, like I don't feel like anybody's truly committed to Miami. You can't be.
That's what I've been saying. Like Malik Bryant, bro. I just failed to believe that man's gonna stick.
That's coming down to the end.
It's hard to sell Miami because Miami's not a football school. They're the newest. Think about this. They're the newest football school almost in NCAA program history outside of like an FCS program, right? You know, they've accomplished a lot in the little time, right? The dominance in the 80s, the dominance in the early 2000s. Well, when I say dominance, you know, the run they went on in the 80s and early 2000s, obviously. But it's a hard sell because location sucks. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the University of Miami, but the location of Miami actually sucks. Like
it's gone. Plus they don't have no stadium, so you gotta go bust like 40 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Facilities are no go. Like, what do you sell in Miami? Like, the only thing you're selling is downtown, the beach. That's what you're selling. So Billy Napier's smart. He's using that to his advantage. We're selling NFL development. We're not selling this, right? So that's what he's got to start selling to these kids. And I feel like you're going to see a lot of it.
For sure. I kind of thought, and this kind of going up, but I thought Florida State was going to, you know, kind of start coming along. And I don't know. Like, I feel like they do kind of, they have momentum, but then it just drops. Like, they're very inconsistent. I don't really know what's going on.
Think about something. Like, every program that rises and falls, you know, okay, we'll use the ones that just rise. The programs that have risen and stayed up for a little while, we'll say minimum, we'll say 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. What do they all have in common? They have a coach that moved the needle. That was a drastic change. Like Lincoln Riley, you know what I mean, to USC, moved the needle. It moved recruits.
Yep.
Going from Bob Stoops to Lincoln Riley moved the needle, right? Like
Yeah.
as much as it's kind of a transfer over of powers doing the same thing, but it still kept them going. Nick Saban going from LSU, then obviously it's in the NFL, but bypass that to Alabama. What did it do to Alabama? It moved the needle. It's the same thing, man. Like even Jim Harbaugh, Ryan Day, Urban Meyer, it's always the same thing, bro.
Yep.
If you cannot bring in a premier coach that can move the needle for recruits, you're dead in the water. And that's why I'm one of the few.
Mullen.
Do what?
Said Daniel Mullen, bro.
Dan Mullen didn't. Jim McElwain was probably one of the, in my opinion, I'm like, that's the most boring hire I have ever seen.
So random too. On top of it,
That was more of a like, we hope it works out higher. Like, hopefully this dude pans out. If not, we're looking stupid.
All I'll say is there's a reason Jeremy Foley is not the president anymore. There's a reason he wasn't the one that made the Urban hire. The president did. So I'll say that much.
Yeah. Does anybody remember who Jeremy Foley was originally going to hire?
I don't think it was
over Jim McElwain.
No, I'm talking about before Urban got hired.
Oh, before Urban got hired. Oh, I have no idea.
I mean, trying to remember the name, but they originally wanted Steve Spurrier. Foley shot that down. He pretty much said, you have to show me your resume. Spurrier literally pointed to the trophy like, my freaking resume. Like,
dog.
Out here.
That's
what are you doing?
Resume.
And very much in the president's like, no, we're going to get Urban Meyer. The final answer. Go get him.
Literally hired Urban Meyer because Jeremy Foley was going to hire. It was going to be somebody else that we had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
We had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
It was like a new name, and then the president's like, no, we're going to get Urban Meyer.
And that's, getting back, that's why I'm not sold on Brian Kelly to LSU. Brian Kelly, to me, does not move the needle. It didn't move at Notre Dame.
It's an odd
look at it now. Do what?
So it's such an odd fit from going from Notre Dame to LSU.
It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
The culture difference, bro.
And as soon as he said family,
it's
just
it was over.
He's a Midwest guy. He was at Cincy. He was at Notre Dame, and going all the way down to LSU, where like the pressure, like Notre Dame is a good program, all that, but LSU and the SEC, that is a pressure cooker.
It's different.
Don't play.
That's different, bro.
Well, Notre Dame is used to traveling and playing a Stanford, or you know what I mean, or an ACC opponent like a Virginia Tech or something like that. Now it's way different. It's a slap in the face, and I believe he's already seen it. And I'll be honest with you, I thought the Brian Kelly hire wasn't because Brian Kelly thinks he's going to win a national championship. I think he got hired down there because he wants a fat paycheck before he retires. You know what I mean? Like, he knows he's not going to survive that pressure cooker. Not many people can. Like,
pressure. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be like taking over for Nick Saban in Alabama. Like, God forbid whoever does that.
God, whoever takes that. God.
Like, the fan base will be rioting in the first game we lose. What?
Yeah. Like first game we lose, he's like, Nick Saban wouldn't have called that timeout. Nick Saban would have kept this player. He wouldn't have benched this guy.
Yep.
It'd be nuts.
Well, be under pressure since every time Saban loses a game, it's fired Nick Saban on the message.
Yeah. Dude, even the media. Think about the media. If the media is halfway willing to step up and call Nick Saban out, imagine what's going to happen to his replacement. Dude, they're going to be like, they're going to have pitchforks in that thing, dude.
Unless you hire somebody like Dabo, that's going to be the case.
Dabo ain't coming out. He got a no compete clause against Alabama for 11 years.
What?
He ain't. Yes, his new contract has a no Alabama compete clause for 11 seasons. He can't come to Alabama.
He ain't even comes no time soon. Then, like,
no, I mean, he signed that 10-year, $115 million contract. The big stipulation was there was an additional year of no competing with Alabama. So even if he left Clemson on that contract for one full season, he still couldn't go to Alabama. That's crazy.
That's insane.
But
wild.
That shows you how much people are willing to shell out money to compete against each other. Like, But no,
I don't blame him because that's the first thing they call when the news drops that Nick Saban's retiring. That's the very first thing.
God, bro. I keep saying it. The Nick Saban hire is not going to be a splash hire. It's going to be somebody. It's going to be it's going to be a tribute, bro. It's going to be like we need to bring in somebody here willing to just take a paycheck and get their head cut off. Essentially, is what's going to happen because that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to lose 3 games, 4 games, and immediately get fired the first season.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, for sure.
And then Lyons decides to go coach somewhere. He's not getting NFL head coaching jobs, and he decides to go to college. I'd call him. I wouldn't put it past
I
Alabama.
will say this right now, though. There's one coach I hope does not take that job if Saban retires.
Lane Kiffin.
Okay, there's 2 coaches.
Steve Sarkisian.
No, not him.
No, if there's anybody, well, you're hoping obviously Billy Napier doesn't leave Florida. I would hope, in my opinion.
3.
But
The other one is at Jackson State right now.
Oh, Dion.
That would never happen, though.
You know why it won't be Dion? And I hate to say this, as an Alabama fan.
Oh, I know.
I know. Keep it real, bro.
I know.
It's Alabama, man. It is what it is.
It's real. The boosters are 70, 80 years old, dude.
Oh my God, John, keeping it real, bro.
The boosting robbery happened to them with George Wallace back in the day, probably. Like, who knows?
Dog, no joke. Dion would be. You're talking about moving the needle somewhere.
That would be
Dion to Alabama. Dude, we'd win 20 national championships. Are you serious? If he can recruit like that at Jackson State,
bro, it would be crazy.
He's recruiting the country at the HBC, Jackson State HBC at that.
That's literally why I said, imagine him recruiting in Tuscaloosa.
That would be
dog.
He would take over the whole Gulf, all that time.
It'd be
crazy.
It would be the actual Gulf Coast offense that they actually wanted when Taggart got there.
And you ain't got to sell parents on it. Like it's Dion,
dude. There's nothing.
Carmen's in my kitchen. I have his man jersey. That's what the parents are gonna say. Like, boy, if you don't go over there and go Coach Prime, crazy.
I want to see a name that will move the needle.
Oh God, Urban, dude! I'm telling you right now, Urban won't ever come to Alabama. You talking about one of the most unwelcomed coaches? That would be Urban Meyer.
Well, he did beat him a few times, so
no, he did. It would make sense. But let me tell you something right now: the criticism he's received from Alabama fans and everybody's. I like that he's pointing to his watch. Like Dion does have a lot of watches, though. For real, bro, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, can I have one, Dion?
Let me hold one, Prime.
You guys see
Rolex off your wrist.
Did you guys see what happened with Eddie Robinson? Dude got salty.
Oh yeah, I saw
that. I saw that.
Talk real quick because I felt like Eddie Robinson said he felt like Dion was disrespectful walking around the field. But if you watch Jackson State and you watch that pregame, he does that everywhere he goes. He literally does that everywhere he goes. So I was like, what issue? Why did you have an issue with it now? So, like, what was the point? And then
the thing about some of the schools, though, in HBC, some of them are extremely cliquey, especially if you're a guy, Eddie Robinson Jr., whose father is an HBC institution.
Yep, exactly.
Like, and a new guy around the blocks coming in, getting all the good players.
Yeah.
It gets under your skin.
You know what's funny is I was going to actually say literally the exact same thing. Like, look, what separates Coach Prime from the rest of the SWAC, in my opinion, that man has at Coach Prime on the back of his shirt. Yep. He's promoting them. And, if Eddie Robinson wants to get, people can have their own opinions. If you want to get mad. But there's a reason why your stadium sold out. It wasn't because of you. It was because Deion Sanders was on national television priming that game up.
Yeah.
You want to get mad at somebody, get mad at him for that, I guess, right?
Right.
But why get mad at him? Let's be honest.
You shouldn't be.
Proving that he's a really good coach.
Bro, he's bringing money to the entire conference and helping them get
recruits. Bro.
And he's
tripping.
He said he had an issue because Prime came in and gets all that. Yeah, of course he gets the attention, man. Yeah, that's gonna come with it. So why not? I heard Tuscaloosa has some happening sports bars.
Oh my God! Don't remind me.
Oh man,
bro. Let me tell you something. Alabama's had enough of that. We had Joey Freshwater. I don't know if you guys know the story with that.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. We know.
Yep.
So Alabama has a tendency of taking assistants and coordinators down to the bars and lining up the fraternities. So
dude, me and Jerry up here went to Florida Atlantic when he was coaching. He had stories over there too.
bro. That man.
Actually, he was fresh with
days.
divorce too, so he was
He's
going.
a demon.
he was
That man's a
staying.
demon.
He was fresh with divorce. Oh yeah, it was demon time.
He's my hero, bro.
Hey, Boca Raton? Ooh.
They're like, no, like legit, bro. Like we'd be chilling. They'd be like, girls would be like, oh, you know, we went to the bar and we saw the coach Lane Kiffin, and I'm like what?
Come on.
Everywhere, bro. He was all over Tuscaloosa.
Like, imagine us talking to a girl at tailgate, you know, getting known, whatnot, and then you could wake up the next day, you see you on Snapchat, you see him hugged up with damn Lane Kiffin.
I couldn't talk to her again, dude. She's ruined.
No way.
Her
Like,
soul has been taken.
Exactly.
I'm good.
the other guys have had to work harder for less results. Hey, look, man. Look, I look at it like this: the man is bringing money to the conference. He's proven he's a really good coach, and he's proven he can recruit even at that level. Now, his name being connected to the Georgia Tech job right now. I'm tell you right now, he get that job. Yeah, in Atlanta going to be very difficult. That's all.
Anywhere he goes, though, it's gonna be like that. I mean,
Yeah, like imagine if FSU somehow got out of the Norvell contract and they called Deion, say, "Come home, please."
but Norvell's gonna come back, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You know why he's not going to go there? Because it's because they didn't even think about him the first time.
They mocked him, bro. When they mocked him, that was it.
They mocked him. They didn't even think about it. He's not going to. Yeah, this is all matter, but he's not going to go there to coach. Not at least not right now.
This is your biggest alumni, like possibly ever in the program. Like, why would you ignore this man?
Well, the biggest problem was this. Number one, he didn't have a degree at the time. That is an issue. Like, you have to have a degree. It is in the stipulations. I didn't know that till after I talked to Coach Bull Jones. He said, yeah, you do. If you coach at D1 level now, they require a minimum of an undergrad, right? He didn't have one at the time. But the problem was when they laughed at him on national television. You stupid for that. You're going to laugh at one of the biggest, like best players ever in the history. And this dude's coaching now? Really? And you're going to laugh at him?
I'm looking at it like this,
bro.
If you know football, you know how to coach. You don't need no damn degree.
I mean, George O'Leary, he learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah, he did.
Really, honestly, you don't need one because if you coach, you know the game. Ain't that all? Isn't that all that matters?
Well, the problem is you're a state employee, and because of your coaching in educational institution,
right?
You have to have it. So it's just one of those, it's a stupid rule. I agree. But at the end of the day, like, it does line up because, you know, you want your son, right, to go play for a coach, you know, come play for us. And you're going to want to know at least he's halfway promoting the graduation piece.
Right.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
Kind of what got forced into trouble during Jimbo.
You can't promote that have a degree. So,
Yeah, because like, how's a coach going to say, hey, it's important to emphasize your studies if he ain't emphasize his? So.
Yeah, and seeing Gator, Josh, I would argue you need a degree. How are you going to sell a degree to a kid? Exactly, and that's what it comes down to. Is that degree mess, as stupid as it may be to some people. Like, I'm 30. I just turned 37 October 3rd, and I'm getting my degree next. In 6 days. Like, I'm finally graduating with my undergrad. Like, you know, and it's all because of what, man? Like, the jobs, and it's. In my opinion, America is one of the worst of separating that stupid piece of paper from payment. All right. So it's funny, man. Like, reading these comments from Gator Josh.
Number one.
Oh, man. Urban, don't get me wrong. Go ahead.
This last part of the comment, I can see Saban hiring a coach and waiting type thing and hand off the team. I can see him doing
Bill O'Brien.
See, and that's my worst. No, because that's my worst. That's my nightmare, bro. I've discussed this on multiple podcasts.
Should not be as plotting as it is sometimes. And Bill O'Brien.
Let's say he gets named the coach in waiting, Bill O'Brien. Jonathan, what is your reaction going to be? Honest reaction.
My honest reaction, I'll probably have a Florida hat on like next time you see me, bro.
I would take Pete Golding before I take them. Bill O'Brien.
In all seriousness, like, Bill O'Brien actually did a really good job at Penn State. But the problem is like, that man and that's what scares me, is he's been at Alabama now, tenured longer than almost anybody outside of Pete Golding. This is the longest we've ever had our staff outside of like Kirby Smart, 9 years, right? if you want to count Sarkisian's analyst year, right, it's right up there, but it's not quite as long as those two. It's prime time, no pun intended, for Bill O'Brien to actually take over for Nick Saban. But, like, no, I can't do it, bro.
Well, whoever gets
It's too much.
is getting fired anyway. So, really want the job?
I feel like, you know, one thing about O'Brien, man, since I've been watching him taking over the OC role, I feel like there's a disconnect between him and the players. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like, I don't feel like they want to execute his scheme. If that makes sense.
It does. Supposedly, he gets along with the players really well. Like he is a players type guy. But the problem is the players will go after. I don't know if you guys saw the Texas A&M game. Saban went after him on throwing the ball from the 3-yard line, and you could literally see him on the sideline screaming, you know, WTF, why are we not running the ball? Right? So, I mean, screaming it, throwing his headset, breaking it, of course, everything else. And it's like that right there should be why he doesn't end up, right, is the head coach. I'm hoping because he hasn't learned yet. He's been in Alabama for a long time. And, you know, as crazy as it may sound, I would consider Pete Golding before Bill O'Brien. Because Pete Golding's younger. He's been molded, man. Like, he's worked with Billy Napier already. He's under the Bill Belichick tree when he was in his late 20s, right? He's only in his mid-30s now. So that could be your Passover guy. Like, he may not be the splash hire, but he's the guy that's going to know how things are ran. And he knows how to win. See, hey, Bama getting upset this weekend. Bro, if Bryce can't play, we getting smoked.
Wait, what'd you say?
If Bryce ain't starting, we getting smoked this week.
Bro, you know, and I want to get into that. So, you know, we got Tennessee and Alabama. We got Florida and LSU. I think you're right. Like I said, if Bryce does not play, it could get ugly because Milroe, man, I just don't trust him right now. I think he has so much, you know, talent as far as like just physical capability, but he's very raw. He's very raw,
dude. I don't know if you guys. These are older podcasts I did on him when he was in high school doing his.
I remember you talked about it. I remember
because I follow a lot of recruiting. I said it. You know, people brought up Jalen Milroe's the big thing, and I'm like, no. Like Milroe, if he's quarterback, we're in trouble. And people wanted to call me stupid. Dude, I got hung up to dry, bro. Like by Alabama fans. And even this past game, like I said it. I was like, look, I'm not going to be mean. The kid has a lot of talent. He has way more talent than I could ever hope for in a lifetime, right? He's athletic. He's gifted that way. When it comes to accuracy and reading a defense, pre and post snap, we're in trouble bad. And people wanted to call me out. What do you think I did the moment that game ended? I was like, where are you guys at now? Because
it was bad, but I'm not going to lie to you.
You can't cover up. That man should have 4 interceptions. 4.
Yeah.
They dropped 3 that was in their hands. Texas A&M should have won that game probably by 20 points. Like, you know what I mean? He fumbled the ball 3 times.
Jesus Christ.
1 interception, or twice, sorry. 1 interception. He fumbled and recovered a 3rd one. So, like, it's not good, man. Like, thank God for Jamar Gibbs is all I'm going to say. Like, that man is balling.
Say this, though. The reason why I would still give y'all a chance to win is I don't
hate Tennessee.
No.
Yes.
No. See, let me get my point out. What I was going to say, I don't think Tennessee has the ability to really stop the run. So I think the combination of Milroe, if he's playing his running ability along with Jahmyr Gibbs, you get that going the whole game, just run the ball 40, 50 times. You're going to win out.
Yeah, and
keep their offense off the field.
Think about this. Milroe fumbled the ball 22% of the times he carried it last week. 22% of the time he's carrying the ball, he fumbled it.
That's not good.
No. So, yeah, he can carry it 20 times. And when he fumbles 8 of those times, where are those points going to come up from? Look, and I'm not saying you can't get better at it, but the man wasn't holding the ball out fumbling. He just was holding it, and he just fumbled it. Like, his grip isn't there. I don't know the way he carries it, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But Tennessee
like a loaf of bread.
No, he's not. Then he's not a running back. So why would he? Right. So here's what I would say though. If I'm Tennessee, I hope he runs with the ball, because every person on that defense is going to be. I'm telling you right now, they are coaching them up on how to strip the football. I'm telling you right now, it's happening.
But see, here's the last part of this whole thing right here. Does Bryce play? I think he does.
Well, supposedly the only issue they're having is his grip strength, and that was last week. Yeah, because his AC joint affects your, it's throwing shoulder, so it affects your grip.
Oh man, yeah.
It was the same issue Russell Wilson was having a couple years back. So it was his grip strength. Now it only takes a couple of days to get that back. So it looks like he should be good to go, but it looks like it is. And even as I gave my honest opinion, man. I'm like, look, if I'm Bryce Young, and if a doctor tells me, look, there's about a 10% chance you can get injured again, I'm telling Nick Saban I'm hanging the cleats up and I'm getting ready for the NFL draft.
Thank you, bro.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you saw it happen to Tua. Like, anything can happen, bro.
You can't be like 1.8 million versus 50 million. There's a big difference, dude.
Huge.
Yeah.
So
we got a suggestion. We have a suggestion for post Saban though, right here.
See here, we would get Mullen. Dude,
God.
Mullen would never. It would be. What's funny is Todd Grantham's on the Alabama staff right now as an analyst. So
no wonder the defense hadn't looked that great.
Our defense is top 3 in the nation right now, dog.
Well, yeah, but
it's not because of him though.
It's Dallas Turner,
Will Anderson, Dallas Turner.
I keep telling these two. This is why I think Bama wins this game. It's not just Will Anderson. You got to deal with Dallas Turner on the other side.
Yeah, he's balling.
Those two.
That's unfair having to block both of those guys.
Like that's not fair. I mean, Will Anderson is going to be going to the pros next year, and you still got to deal with Dallas Turner, who's only a sophomore. Like, that's unfair.
But dog, my thing is AB. Like, when you watch Tennessee play, it's not like a whole lot of Hendon Hooker standing there for like just hours. Like, he gets the ball out fast, like very, very fast. And you got to be able to cover those tight ends. His wide receiver. I mean, it's very.
That's true. But here's the issue: nobody that they've played has had pass rushes with this kind of speed.
Well, the guys have a lot of speed, and he couldn't do a damn thing. He got free a bunch of times. He could do anything.
The problem Tennessee's going to have is how do they pick up the linebackers? The blitz. We blitz a lot of safety and linebacker.
That's the thing. So, stuff that I'm looking at from this Bama defense that I'm thinking with Hendon Hooker, I think he could get rattled a little bit having to worry about those two on the edge. And then, like you just said, linebackers blitzing, and when they blitz, whether it's right off the rip, is it the delayed blitz? Are they going to show it, drop off in coverage? I mean, it's a lot of things that they're going to have him thinking about, and it's not going to be as simple as just getting the ball out quick. You can get the ball out quick, all of a sudden the linebacker and dropped into the zone. He's picking it off right there. Yeah. So it's a lot of things that I'm looking at, and that's why I think Alabama has the advantage. Now, do I think it's going to be a blowout? No, absolutely not. If it was like a 12, 13-point spread, I'd say, hammer Tennessee to cover that spread. That'd be way too high.
Yeah.
What is it right now? 8.5, 7.5, somewhere?
It's around 7, 8 right now. It's going to move a lot closer because the Bryce Young news is what's going to move that needle. That's why I'm not even touching that bet this week. That's bet that game, you crazy.
You're degenerate if you've been touching that game.
Anybody betting Vegas, stay far away from that line right there.
See, and Gator Josh brings up, Alabama blitzes, the linebacker Tennessee does screens a lot of underneath. That doesn't work against Alabama because why? We play press man. That completely voids out those slants and screens. There's one thing we actually have proven this year, especially with Jalen Moody being replaced with Deontay Lawson. It's because the physicality at linebacker and able to move east to west. We are very fast east to west. Yeah. If you're going to beat Alabama, it's not moving in that direction. You better be throwing the ball deep, man coverage. That's how you beat Alabama.
The last time going east to west on Bama has ever worked. I can't remember a time it was worked.
It's since the 14 defense was because 15 was so yeah.
Oh, brother, thank you.
And to your point about I always say the same thing too. Alabama will either expose your quarterback for what he is, good or bad, right? He's either really good under pressure, throwing man coverage, making the correct decisions, or he's going to look exactly maybe who you thought he was.
Yeah.
He's going to show what he's made of, because you best believe Pete Golding with Dallas Turner and now Henry Ato'oto finally understanding the defense. That's scary. Deontay Lawson, a true freshman, now starting, took over Jalen Moody, who is a senior, by the way, just took his cookies from him, and playing the way he is. Terrion Arnold, true freshman cornerback, who's playing lights out right now. Kool-Aid playing lights out. Hendon Hooker, I believe, is a really good quarterback.
Right.
Now, we're about to see how good he is, because he has all the weapons in the world.
Jerry, do you guys now understand why I was picking Alabama?
Bro, I understand, but I will live and die on this. Bro, I'm telling you, you just gotta take shots vertically.
You have to.
That's always been the MO.
Quinn Ewers, like I said, if he would have stayed in that game,
they would have won probably.
They would have won.
Taking shots down the field.
John, I think he was standing darn near having a heart attack watching that game.
Bro.
So, yeah, I mean, if Quinn Ewers doesn't get hurt, I think Texas may have won that game.
And even Haynes King last week, even though he's like freaking
dog water.
Evan Stewart, he showed how good he is. Like the kid.
Oh, Evan Stewart.
He's a baller.
Everybody wanted him.
We just get this right. This is his only problem.
Yeah, you got to control that emotion, bro. And getting back to the Alabama Tennessee, it's all going to come down to, can Tennessee stop the run, right?
That's my question.
Because if Alabama, believe it or not, this is a case where if Tennessee acts stupid and starts lining up in a 3-3-5,
oh my God.
I know they won't do that, I hope. Or if they keep two safeties back, and I don't know if you guys know this, but obviously their starter got arrested and is under a felony charge. McCullough started strong safety.
Yep. We talked about that last night on our other podcast. I brought that up. He's a 4-year starter.
He's a captain of their defense.
Yeah, he's a captain of defense. If he doesn't play, their secondary already isn't that great. You take him out of the lineup, now you don't know what could happen back there. Now you're putting somebody back there that hasn't started, may not know the full defense, and it's now he's got to worry about a lot of things out there. He's pressed into starting and getting a lot of playing time and being a key factor in the game. So that couldn't have happened at the worst time for Tennessee.
Their biggest problem is this: the way Tennessee plays defense, their safety is going to be on Jamar Gibbs. So, and he's our leading receiver. That's where the problem lies. Is the moment they bring a guy in the box, I know what they're going to do. Alabama does it every single time, man. People still do it. They bring a guy in the box, man. They bring the strong safety down. When they do, they push out Jamar Gibbs to the far end to show man coverage. And then they move over. They'll either jet sweep or motion somebody to do trips where the outside lines up on the inside. And you're either going to have Jamar Gibbs against a strong safety, or you're going to have somebody like Isaiah Bond that runs a 4.27 on a linebacker.
Bro, he's
happens
every time.
About Isaiah Bond, man. Why do that does?
But you know what's funny though, man? Like for Saban, it's always I swear it's always like a Tennessee game or in the middle of the year. Some superstar shows up and they're like, oh my gosh, they have an incredible weapon.
Yep.
And that's why I think Bond's game.
It's a Bond game. It always happens. Someone that just blows up and then they take off from there at the Tennessee game.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems to be a theme every year. But I will say this, though, if there's ever – because, Tennessee's never beaten Saban at Alabama. So it's if there's ever a time you're in Knoxville – Bryce Young may not play. If he is playing, is he completely healthy? If you can't win this year,
you're never winning.
I don't know if you're ever going to beat Saban at that point.
And this is the best team they've had since the 2016 team. That team won a lot of fluky games.
And this team is better.
See, this is what I said about A&M last week. Bryce Young was out. You forced 4 turnovers, and you still didn't win.
Dog, and we went 20% on third down. We couldn't do nothing.
You played lights out. You played a great game against them, and you still couldn't get it done.
They were so bad on offense. They're basically telling them, here, come on, do something, please.
And then the very last play of the game, Jimbo Fisher calls, honestly, one of the worst plays I've ever seen. Why would you not on the short side of the field call an out
Bro.
route or receive? Like, what are you doing?
A-Chain not even being involved in the action too. On top of
That
that,
was nasty.
The corner literally all he literally had to do was just sit there and just play the ball. He didn't even have to worry about the receiver because he's not going anywhere.
Evan Stewart just caught a jump ball. Isolate, man coverage, pull the safety over where it's one-on-one, and throw him a jump ball to the end zone.
Yep.
Why would you not give the best player the ball? I always say, like, if at the end of the game you're not giving your best player the ball in the best possible scenario, you're stupid. Jimbo Fisher is a horrible play caller. He's horrible at it. He's like Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien, I hate to say, he's a bad play caller. Like,
That man is.
And then when you look at that play, the way it was set up, the slant wasn't open because I'm looking at the outside linebacker. I'm like,
they hardly ever are.
He's gonna flare out to that side. The slant's not open, so like you said, he just caught a jump ball. Throw him another jump ball.
Dude, think about this. You got bigger receivers. Why would you not call a pick play?
something, anything other than just isolating the guy off and then doing nothing else on the other side. Anything.
And as a coach, you know in the back of your mind, last play of the game, how often do refs call pass interference in the last play?
They're not going to do it.
Never.
They already threw you a bone just to get down there, so they're not going to do it again.
That's what I'm saying. So it was just like, you add everything up. You're like, okay, something's got to give at some point, right? So that's why I always say, isolate, throw a fade, throw whatever you need to Stewart, like one-on-one. Because Kool-Aid's been known to get beat. Kool-Aid's he doesn't have the highest jump, right? So, I mean, Xavier Worthy got him a couple of times. Granted, Xavier Worthy is all Big 12 and everything else.
He's him.
Yeah, but, it can be done. So, and another thing, this will tell me what Tennessee's culture is like. Because imagine if Tennessee comes into this game and lays an egg. You know what I mean?
It would be so typical Tennessee.
That's the other thing that I'm worried about for Tennessee is this game is probably the biggest game in program history right now. One of them. Program history. One of the biggest games. Game day is going to be there. SEC Nation is going to be there.
Everybody, bro.
3:30 on CBS. I'm worried they very well might lay an egg out there.
All right, hoping they lay an egg out there.
No, I'm being so serious, because I've seen this movie. I've seen this with Florida, man.
Dude,
I've literally seen this with Florida.
Yeah,
that's why.
Even this year's game, though, like every time that we would score or do anything, the fans would be just dead silent and they would pan to them.
Their fans are like traumatized. It's bad, bro.
Talking about Tennessee?
Yes, it's
bad. Bro.
By the way, Jerry, the series is 1-0 Yankees.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's one. They won.
Yeah, they just won.
Yeah, man. See, maybe Jimbo should give Bags money to opposing.
Transfer you after the season. I'm already calling it now.
Do what?
We're gonna transfer you because I said before the season, I joke they're gonna have all this top talent just to go 8-4. And it's about to happen.
They may not go 8-4.
Dog, they're 3-3.
It's crazy.
They're not going 8-4. Have you seen their schedule? They have games lined up.
Ole Miss yet, have they?
No.
They
haven't played LSU yet. Like, I know LSU's not a great team, but LSU is very well capable of beating them.
And they have the numbers since they've been in the SEC. So,
and they're gonna play Florida.
Like, who they got left? Look, Texas A&M does not have an easy road left. Like
they may win one of these games just because they are really talented. But other than that, I don't trust the coach. And Haynes King is not good as a quarterback.
This is where I was concerned with Texas A&M. It was literally the first week. I mean, they got a 31-0 win over Sam Houston State, but that game, you just knew something wasn't right.
You can tell, yeah.
They should have scored more than 31 points, but Sam Houston State, even though they didn't score, was moving the ball.
Oh, and Haynes King's hurt, by the way. So he was hurt at the end of Alabama. I don't know if you guys saw him limping off the field real bad. He got hurt.
He was getting crushed in that game because they were just sending guys in all that entire drive.
Well, he got hit 16 times.
Yeah, they were laying a boom to him. It was
he was running for his life.
So they got at South Carolina, Ole Miss, Florida, Auburn, UMass, LSU. They 7-5. This man's about to make $100 million Number one recruiting class. All I keep hearing. He's top 7 every year in recruiting, by the way.
Yeah.
He's never an
100
issue
million.
with him.
No, and he's 8-4 at best. It seems. Well, I can't say at best. COVID year, he won 10 games. The 1 year, COVID year.
Oh
And
God.
that's it.
Right
100 million. That's what it gets you.
I was like, they're recruiting fine and getting top 5-star players with Kevin Sumlin, and they're right at the exact spot at this time of year.
And bro, their trenches, they've been recruiting the trenches. Like it's not even, it's crazy because like you can see their talent rise against Alabama like the last 2 years, but it's just they just are inconsistent and poor coaching. You know, just poor coaching.
Well, I was about to say, what is inconsistent? It's the coaching. You know what's funny is you have these top 7 recruiting classes. This is how you distinguish it, bro. This is why it's mind-boggling how Texas A&M gets the recruits. How many A&M players do you see going in the first round of the NFL draft? Because I don't see very many. Luke Jokel, Garrett. But we're talking, they're signing top year.
I think the last one was either Garrett or it was an offensive line. Maybe Fetty or somebody like that.
Oh.
But you see my point. Like the development, I'm sorry. Dude, the development's not there.
It isn't. And
another thing.
Here, but like he's this is a football institution as a family, so he was gonna go somewhere.
Dude, and another thing, I forgot who I told to make a video on this. I said there's a huge problem at A&M that nobody wants to talk about right now. And this is to me the biggest problem A&M has. Name me one good offensive defensive coordinator at A&M under Jimbo Fisher.
You can't name him.
You can't even say DJ Durkin right now.
Dog. Everybody they bring in leaves on a demotion. He has not promoted one single coordinator.
The only good one he had was Mike Elko.
Yeah, Elko. That was it.
That was a lateral move when he left.
Yeah,
dog, when Elko left, that wasn't a promotion. So when you think about this, so that's telling me one thing: nobody wants to work for Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, he was trying to get the heck away from him. I mean, yeah, it's a head coaching job at Duke, but it's Duke.
That's why I say it's a lateral position, dude. I'm not gonna.
Nothing
against Duke, but
why are you going there?
It's like there's a reason FSU was an absolute shambles by the time he was about to be done over there. Like things were out of control over there, and now things just look really bad at A&M too.
I don't think anybody's looking at that, man. Just the thought of Bryce Campbell should roll out the '90s Huskers,
bro. Josh, I bring that up, man. Every time I hear that, I see that, I think of that Tommy Frazier run against Florida in the national championship.
Yeah,
don't bring that up.
He's still running.
Like, come on, man. That image was just ingrained in my head. I'm like, good Lord.
But yeah, like I love what somebody put the other day too. They said the only difference between Jimbo Fisher and Gus Malzahn is Jameis Winston.
Yeah, basically.
No,
like
ain't wrong.
And the reason they're saying that is because Auburn does more with less, compared to what Jimbo does, which is less with more. It's getting to that point.
It's like, can you name anybody off that 2010 Auburn team that made the pros other than Cam and Nick Fairley?
A little bit.
Dude, there was not very. I know on the offense there wasn't hardly anything.
Nick Fairley.
Was he? Yeah, he was on that. Was he on the 2010 team?
First round pick. Yeah.
2010, yeah.
So he must have been like a sophomore or a freshman that season.
Yeah, man.
Because you had him
he
and
the draft that same year with Cam.
No, he came out the draft that year. I think he was
junior.
Fairley was?
Yeah,
he was a junior.
It was because I know Fairley also had somebody else next to him that was a beast. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the guy too.
He actually went before Fairley, I believe. What was his name? But either way.
No, it's the Igwe because he was after.
No, it wasn't him.
Yeah, definitely Igwe.
But you get what I'm saying though, like bro, A&M, like where's it at, man? Like,
like Auburn nearly won a national championship with a converted safety playing quarterback. Like, think about that.
Dude. Well, I mean, Blake Sims was a running back for us that went to quarterback.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah,
he went undefeated in the regular season, didn't
he? Yes, he actually did go undefeated in the regular season.
I think they lost, right?
Wait, no, he lost one game. We lost one game.
Yeah, lost one game to Ole Miss.
Yeah, the Ole Miss. That's when they had Chad Kelly.
Yeah,
that was Bo Wallace.
Or Bo Wallace. There we go. There
Oh
we
my
go.
God,
I knew
Bo
I knew the dude was balling out. That's all I know. I remember.
It was like he was like so maligned. He had a game of his life that day.
And was that the same year Mississippi State and Ole Miss were both in like the top 5 in
Yes.
1 week?
Dan Mullen was number 1 in the country, I believe.
Yeah, that was nuts. Dude, that was crazy.
And then Bama like smacked Dak Prescott, bro.
Yeah, that was a bad game for
It's so
Prescott.
funny. Like Dan Mullen's big problem in Florida was recruiting, but yet in Mississippi State he was getting like top-notch players. Like he had Chris Jones on that team.
Players in Mississippi were staying home though.
Yeah.
Like there's nowhere else to go except for there or Ole Miss. So like
layups. I mean, you weren't gonna recruit like that in Florida because in Florida, everybody's not staying home like that.
But let's be real, AB. Think of it this way: if Dan Mullen came to UF and Kirby Smart was still at DC for Alabama, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
You're darn right we wouldn't be having this conversation because
Kirby literally came into the state and started taking everybody.
Kirby literally invaded Florida like World War II. It was nuts.
Nobody in Florida.
Like no top 5-star corner from Jacksonville from last year. Like he came in and just took him.
Dude, like I remember when we got Julio, Mark Ingram, and all that stuff, and it was cool. But then you started slowly seeing that transition of Lakeland, IMG, like even Liberty City in Miami, and it's like Amari Cooper. Like, who are these? Like, and that's when I wasn't paying as much attention to recruiting as I do now. But now that I go back and look, and we always talk about this, but like Derrick Henry. Many players that got away from Florida. Like
I have to tackle Derrick Henry.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, you can forget about Lakeland. You can get that area. That ain't happening.
We locking that down.
Yeah, you can have Lakeland. We'll stay with IMG.
You can get that one. Bama good, but Lakeland ain't happening.
They'll take Pensacola instead, AB.
Yeah.
That's dead too. I'm getting the lockdown on Pensacola right now.
I'm surprised we're still getting Liberty City and Miami as well as we are. I kind of am surprised because we lost our connection.
That's Miami's issue. They're not keeping kids home anymore. See, back when they heyday, they roped off the area and they kept them kids home. They're not doing that now. These kids are seeing Florida win, they're seeing Georgia win, they're seeing Alabama win, they're seeing Clemson win. Now they want to go to those schools because number one, they're tired of being in Miami. They want to see somewhere else. But number two, those other programs I just mentioned are starting to win. So
those kids even slip through the cracks and go to UCF.
Like when Lyle's Miami kid, like with Miami's program, they caught lightning in a bottle with this. Like they realized, oh shit, we're in the backyard of like the biggest recruiting state in the country, in the best area for recruiting. So they just roped it off, and then everybody started finding the sauce. And then, quite frankly, with like these kids, like if you've been to where they're from, you wouldn't want to stay in the city either.
Right.
No, but that's what makes Mario Cristobal so dangerous is that he can relate to that. He was from there, you know what I mean? He went to school there, like he knows that. And I just had this conversation the other day on I can't remember whose podcast I was on, but we were talking about what Miami needs to do, and I said, if you want to bring Miami recruits back into Miami. First game of the year, it needs to be like against Alabama or whoever, a big name program, right? Florida, whoever. Walk out at the 50-yard line, and I want somebody punching somebody in the face, standing over them and spitting on them. Like, we're here, bro. Like, we bringing it back to this.
Bro. That's facts.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden, you're going to have that shock. Yeah, that kid's going to get suspended, probably kicked off the team. Have it like
possibly, but
yeah, give them a bag of money, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? So, but do something like that, catch the attention, and I guarantee you these kids, because the thing about it is Mario Cristobal, I thought the dumbest thing he did was take away the turnover chain.
Bro, I don't understand why he did.
I was like, they were copying you for a reason. Like that shit fits Miami.
It is Miami.
Yeah, it fits.
Turnover chain's Miami, dog. Like,
like you can't. There's some things you can't copy, and that was easily one of them.
Yep.
See, was it no one shows up? Plus, ACC is weak. I don't know if you're so.
I did hear that. He did say that. He said he didn't even consider an ACC school.
Really?
Yeah, Des Watson didn't even consider an ACC school.
Who was the one recruiting that he was thinking about going? Was it who were we? It was A&M, Florida,
and Alabama.
Alabama. Yeah, Alabama.
And Kirby brought up a good point the other day. He said there's a problem with Georgia now because Alabama, ever since we got oh my gosh, T-Rob, right, Travarius Robinson from Miami, we've been living in Georgia's backyard, snatching players. Caleb Downs, Justice Haynes, like, dude, they were locks to Georgia, and now all of a sudden they're getting a little like antsy, like, what's going on here? And it's like, bro, I'm telling you, you guys are paying attention to the wrong people. You guys are looking at coaches. These freaking coordinators and these people, like, you got to be paying attention to those. Corey Raymond, if you ain't paying attention to Corey Raymond, you stupid.
Bro, Corey Raymond is freaking goated, bro.
That was a jack move of a coaching hire from Napier.
I'll tell you right.
Oh yeah,
and I can tell you right now, it's a lot. I can tell you with our staff, it's a lot of things working behind the scenes, recruiting wise, that people don't even know of right now. Like, think about Bijan Johnson, who's gonna commit this Thursday. Right now, I'm expecting him to pick Florida. When he was in Ohio State commit, do you realize he was on Florida's campus twice with nobody reporting it?
Yeah, but that's what you want.
Exactly.
That's a good tack. That's what you want from your coaching staff. You want to bring these guys in and like undercover, like almost like we don't want nobody seeing you.
Bro, these kids are coming in. Matter of fact, because my girlfriend goes to UF, right? So we're going to a basketball game, bro, and we accidentally go through the wrong way. Like, went through the visitor section or something like that. This is basketball season. Tons and tons of kids, like, just coming in just to watch the basketball game. And Katie Turner was there, and who was the other guy? Short guy with the bald head, beard. I forgot his name, but we met Corey Raymond and Jabbar Jaluk, and they're like on this, these visits and these kids. And just tons of them are coming, bro. I'm like, how they were with the families, like, super welcoming, bro. I mean, it was amazing to see. And they all had them sectioned off in one area watching the hoops game, and they took them around the campus. And when I saw that, bro, I was like, okay, we finna start recruiting for real. Like, it was different. So Corey Raymond, bro, he works. They work. They work.
Josh is 100% correct with this. Think about Miami's home games and what they look like compared to schools like Florida, Alabama, Ohio State.
Oh yeah, it's nowhere near.
It's nowhere near
Miami.
Yeah, kids see that, and it's like, damn, I want to play here. Mm-hmm. Like, you get this kind of reaction, and then you go on a visit to Miami. It's like, well, there's nobody here.
Shoot, I used to go to Miami games like back in college because I knew a girl that went there. But I was getting tickets for like $5.
They're still that way. You can get tickets next to nothing.
Mine this year they went to the ACC championship game, and they almost won game that year, and it was still $5 tickets.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get 2 pickups. You guys are gonna get Dijon. He's penciled in, and you guys are gonna get Bryce Thornton as well, the safety. So he's gonna end up
getting safety.
Well, Bryce, he's gonna bring speed, dog. He is fast.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he stays at safety, but I think he'd be an excellent converted receiver. My opinion.
I'll take that.
I'll take that. You have me at speed because we have no speed in the back end right now.
Yeah, that man is. I mean, if he stays safety, he has almost too much speed. It seems like to utilize him the correct way, unless you move him to corner or possibly float him as like a star position, something like that. Let him do almost his own thing. See,
wait, is he Avery Helm fast though? Is that
he runs? Hang on, give me 1 second. He runs like an 11 flat.
Oh my god!
Hang on.
That's speed there.
That's more than right there.
I know he's a track star. I do know that. Hang on.
Him and Aiden Mazel in the foot race and Eugene Wilson. I'm here for it.
So he's played wide receiver, a couple of receptions, but 340 yards, 2 touchdowns on 36 touches, 18 tackles, 11 pass breakups, 3 interceptions. And that's only playing part of the year. It's like a full year, bro. And that's in 7A. Let's see here. Where is his? Yeah, Bruce Thornton. That's what I thought. Bruce Thornton is his dad. I don't know if you guys remember him or not. Running back at Georgia. His brother is a point guard for Ohio State. Like, I do know that speed is like bred into his family, dog. Let's see here. Where's his exact numbers at? Oh, hang on.
All the speed we can get because
we have none whatsoever in the back end.
None.
It's sad.
Here we go. Yeah, they have a whole article written on how fast this kid is. They said he's taken over high school football. Let's see here. As far as speed goes. Okay, they're not really. I can't find an exact time in this article. It's so weird because usually 24/7 is so good at reporting it. Now they're slacking. But either way, yeah, I think you guys' recruiting is going to be just fine.
Yeah, I'm looking at the class we're putting together now for 2023. It's going to be a great class.
Yeah.
I'm really looking at before though.
Bro, that's real fireworks going to start.
Yeah, I'm looking at 2024, and I'm trying to work on the 2025 receiver in my area named Kobe Howard. So yeah, I'm trying to work on him. I just actually checked up with him on his rehab, how everything's going.
I want to inform y'all on a player, bro, real fast before we start. A kid out of Brunswick, Georgia, named Hezekiah Kent.
Oh, never mind.
Hezekiah Kent. He is a true freshman, 6'6".
I've seen the film.
Yeah.
That's like my little brother.
He is him.
Oh wow.
You got another job, Jerry.
Bro, no.
Get
Look, bro.
Get it done.
As I was talking to him, he said he doesn't have a favorite team, but I will tell you, Kirby Smart right now, I think, because he went to the Georgia Auburn game. They're already recruiting him heavy. Like, it's only a matter of time before he gets offers. So it's scary. But kid's 6'6", 240 pounds. Like,
Kirby was salivating when he saw him, probably.
He's literally Darnell Washington, bro. It's crazy. Like, the kids are freaking cool.
Jerry,
you guys,
one job.
I'm gonna try.
You guys, 2024, Miles Graham is out of Georgia. Dude, he is a stud, bro, at linebacker.
Yes, sir. He's a monster.
That's why I'm really looking at that class right now. I'm thinking what we could possibly do recruiting wise.
Lord knows I need more actual linebackers in my linebacker room and not converted DNs.
Jesus Christ.
That's true, but yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I want them two receivers at Chaminade. I'm gonna tell you right now, I want them two. Now, when we get them, I don't know because Ohio State been on them heavy, but I want them two on my campus.
Man, give me all the speed, all the talent that we can possibly find. I don't care who it is. I don't care where it's from. Give it to me.
Yeah, trusted development. Let the guys develop these guys.
For sure.
But I got the right now this freshman class that look really, really promising. ETN, Chris McClellan looks really promising. Shamar James,
These freshmen that have come in and played.
Even Miguel.
Yeah, him too. Like, guys
he
are
looks
really
solid.
And actually getting chances to play.
Yeah. Now I got this FBS schedule thing up, bro. So we'll get to some predictions, and then we want to get into just a little bit of our Swampers of the week, pretty much, and predictions for Tennessee, Alabama, predictions for Florida, LSU, and we'll say those two for last. But we did some of these yesterday, but subject to change. But AB, you want to start, bro, with Auburn and Ole Miss?
Yeah, Ole Miss is rolling. All reeling right now. They look at this point. Ole Miss just put Brian Harsin out of his misery.
Yeah, I got Ole Miss too. I got Ole Miss by a lot.
Yeah. Ole Miss is winning this game one of two ways. Either they just absolutely roll them, which I expect them to do, or Auburn puts up a fight, and like they've done in both the games that they've had this year, when they put up a fight, they're going to screw it up.
Yeah.
So Ole Miss either way.
Or they could lead and blow it like they have twice.
Ole Miss ain't blowing this game. Dude, with the way Zach Evans and Judkins is running the ball, and Auburn can't stop the run, you have a serious problem on your hands.
Yeah, of them last week. It was.
And then Jonathan Mingo, a receiver. Oh man,
dude, Ole Miss is. If they play really good, they're a scary team. They could beat, in my opinion, almost anybody if they have a good enough game.
And as a matter of fact, Bama have them next week.
Ole Miss, no, we got Tennessee. Then I think we got Mississippi State. I think the following week. We got Mississippi State after them, then a bye week.
Then Ole Miss.
So, yeah, then Ole Miss, then a nobody, a cupcake. Then we got Auburn.
Do we know what the Ole Miss game is? Is it in Tuscaloosa or no?
This year, I believe it's in Tuscaloosa. This year.
Okay.
I could definitely see this score right here. I could definitely see
Ole
this
Miss.
in this
Yeah.
outcome.
Yeah, I can see it.
You see that?
If they're willing to do the buyout, I don't see the boosters willing to pay it.
Yes, they are. I can tell you right now. Yes, they are.
Like
I said, it's a matter of when.
They tried to get him fired with cause last time, so you might as well just say screw it and pay the buyout.
Now, unless the buyout comes later on this year, maybe so, but I think it's a matter of when.
Sure.
to be smart of them is they go ahead, fire him now and call Matt Rule.
Yeah, get him out of there. Get him out of there.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. Now we got Iowa State and Texas. How we feeling about that? I know I got Texas personally.
Quinn Ewers is on a roll, bro.
That's
Like
When you was him. That
I
boy's
don't-
ooh, 35 to 9. I don't know, man. I think I mean
Like Ewers, the way he's playing, I can see it.
I'm gonna go 30, 37, 24.
yeah, Texas defense isn't that great. That's the problem.
Right. They give up some crap. So
38.
hang up I have about them.
Y'all gonna say 38-21.
okay.
Yeah, I was thinking they'll try to run the ball, so I'll say like 31-17.
31,
Now,
30.
Now, I said this last night on Indisputable Evidence, our other podcast. This next game is tricky. Kansas and Oklahoma. Because Oklahoma has looked horrible the last 2 weeks. Kansas coming off and lost the first game. They're talking about Jalen Daniels is out for the season.
He is.
Disputed the
It's
report.
tough.
So he came out disputed the report. He was like, sheesh, that's news to me. So you don't know what's going on there, but it's tricky because as bad as Oklahoma's played the last 3 weeks, I could actually see them winning this game.
Well, they're gonna have Dylan Gabriel back. So
I'm changing. I got Oklahoma. I'm changing.
Gabriel's
And I
starting.
wrote 7 quarterbacks like they did last week.
No, they said Gabriel's healthy. So I mean, if he's healthy, they're gonna win this game without their starting quarterback. At Kansas starting, they're almost screwed now. So
I'm never been the biggest Dylan Gabriel fan because he can be erratic sometimes, but he is very talented.
I will say this: the backup that came in last week didn't play bad at all. He came in through 3 touchdowns.
forward to my Kansas, I'm assuming, because Oklahoma didn't score anything. Okay.
He came in
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to throw a shot.
still in the game even without their starting quarterback.
I can't imagine Brent Venables going 4 games in a row allowing this type of points. That's the only reason my brain says it can't happen again, right?
But there ain't no way it can
It's
happen.
strange. I don't know about picking Kansas against Oklahoma in football. It just sounds so weird. But like my eyes are telling me Kansas is the better team.
Yeah.
That defense is bad at Oklahoma. God,
It's
almighty,
hilarious.
man.
It's hilarious.
That's putting it lightly.
Man,
I'd take Oklahoma slightly. I'd take them by like 2.5 points.
I'm
Yeah.
scared to pick this game.
I'm taking Oklahoma because I don't think they're gonna lose again.
I'm
Not
gonna,
this week.
I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna say Kansas slightly.
Okay.
It's at Oklahoma too, so
Yeah.
not that it matters.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go.
There it is.
No.
There you go. Flip it.
He flipped because I said at Oklahoma. I was like,
Yep.
it's at Oklahoma.
But can you really confidently pick either one of these teams if we're going to be honest?
No, absolutely
you
not.
No.
I'm going to say Oklahoma by a field goal.
Okay.
Minnesota, Illinois.
I'll say Kansas by like a touchdown.
Kansas. Okay. Minnesota and Illinois.
Hey, Brett Belema's got him believing.
Yeah, I like what he's doing there, so I'm going Illinois.
4-1.
I'm not the biggest Brent Beamer fan either, but he's doing good work in Illinois. And plus, when it comes to PJ Fleck in Minnesota, that boat's capsized.
Yeah, it has. Minnesota's
Yeah.
looking bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Illinois.
They
Definitely.
run the ball too effectively.
Yeah. And some champagne, so I'm taking them.
See,
It's not that bad.
I got Penn State winning the next game. I sure do.
You got Penn State winning that game?
I got Penn State.
Oh, you're not gonna like my take on that, bro.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna be a blowout, and it's not gonna favor Penn State.
Oh man.
I got Michigan in this game.
I just love defensively how Michigan looks right now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not gonna matter.
I'm about to because I'm part of this college football pick'em.
Me.
I'm part of this college football pick'em where we're picking against the spread, and I picked Penn State to cover. I'm changing that right now.
What's the spread? What's it move to now? Because it's going to move a lot.
I'm going to tell you right now, it is 6.5 right now in favor of Michigan.
Oh yeah, I know it's going to favor Michigan. Like it's. Let me see here. Let me bring this up real quick. Man, I'm telling you right now, I don't think this game is going to be that close.
Dang, really? Shoot, man.
It's in Arbor, and I love their defense right now. I think Michigan.
What's the tendency of Penn State playing at Michigan, bro?
It's bad.
James Franklin is bad at Michigan. Like horrible. He does not keep these games close. So when you look at this, the Michigan's 43 points a game. I'm just using basic analytics here. I won't dive too much into it. 34 for Penn State. But what it's going to come down to here is going to be, can Penn State hold Michigan's rushing attack to 79 yards a game?
I don't know about that.
I don't see that, bro.
Too much Blake Corum, too much speed there. I say Michigan.
And then you look at so before we get overboard on this is another thing you got to look at. Here's who Penn State is beat to get to number 10: Purdue, Ohio, Auburn, Central Michigan, and Northwestern. Do any of them have a winning record?
That's a good point.
Man, those are some stinky teams they beat.
Those are bad teams. They crushed Auburn. And Auburn hung in with who did they hang in with a couple weeks ago? LSU or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Penn State, to me, I am not so. Every time I hyped them up last year, dude. Every time I do it, it bites me, bro.
No, me too. For sure.
And let me. But to be fair, let me look at Michigan real quick. Michigan is ranked number 5, right? So they've only beaten Colorado State, Hawaii, UConn, Maryland, Iowa, and Indiana. But the difference, in my opinion, is they've just what Michigan's identity is, and what they're going to do.
For sure.
Penn State really doesn't have that yet. So,
now, look, this is a hot take on here.
what's that? Oh,
Josh says he can see Miami losing to Virginia Tech. If that does happen, does Miami quit on the season after that loss? If they lose to Virginia Tech, they got some real problems.
My Tech's bad. My Tech's
They're not good at all.
Middle Tennessee did not just beat Miami.
They killed them.
They drugged them down the field.
And then they got drugged their last 2 games.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and Virginia Tech lost to Old Dominion, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Old Dominion late in that game.
Old Dominion almost owned the state of Virginia. Think about that, bro.
Virginia's not looking good. Like Virginia Tech, man, that whole strategy of them having like 280-pound defensive tackles is not looking good this year.
Miami's been relegated to regional television. They lose one more game, they're gonna, like Silk said on Twitter,
they're gonna be on Nickelodeon, boy.
They're gonna be game casting on YouTube. Like, they gonna show the game.
They're gonna be on Telemundo.
Bro, catch them on Fire Stick, man. It's gonna be bad.
Fire Stick. Oh my god, dude.
They're not even gonna be on Fire Stick. You don't have to watch the game. They're gonna be broadcasting
on Roku device.
Roku. I got that in my bedroom.
So I'm gonna take Miami because I don't think they're gonna lose. I'm gonna take Miami.
They're not gonna lose. I don't believe
it. Like I said,
if they do, I'll be stunned.
I'm taking Miami, but if they lose this game, this is gonna be some eyeballs rolling. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm saying Chris Ball getting fired. I don't think that happens, but
no, it's too much wild.
Eyebrows raised. I'll say that. It'll be some eyebrows raised.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck's going on here?
He'll have that hot seat going into future years.
Coral Gables will be burning if he loses this game. I'll say that much.
Let's see. We got Arkansas and BYU. KJ Jefferson comes back, I believe.
Came 3 weeks ago.
I'm gonna go Arkansas.
I'm gonna go Arkansas close.
This is tough. I like Arkansas because KJ Jefferson.
I can tell Jonathan put out some facts, bro. I'm disgusted.
I don't feel good about this game at all.
There's nothing. I like nothing about this game. Is KJ healthy? If he's not healthy, BYU's winning this game.
Yeah.
Like, that's the nasty part about it. It's kind of like Alabama. If they don't have Bryce Young, Tennessee's probably going to win that game. It's the same thing in BYU. What do they do, man? They play down to sorry competition every time they play an SEC team. or a Pac-12 team, they're almost undefeated. They always play up.
That's
It
crazy.
just
Bro.
it's
Especially
crazy
in
how
Provo.
BYU does it.
Especially in Provo.
They won 5 straight Pac-12 games last season. BYU did. I know it was last season, but they tend to. I don't know what it is, man. They tend to play up to games.
I'm a little nervous about that game, but I'm choosing Arkansas reluctantly.
I'm nervous also.
I'm going to take Arkansas. Now, if KJ is not healthy, it's going to be BYU.
That's different. Yeah, BYU if KJ's not healthy.
Because their backup is.
What's the marks?
Yeah.
I don't like Mosby at all.
We got the best game on the schedule on here. Northern Illinois and Eastern Michigan. No, stop.
Right. AB, I'm gonna say right now, that game definitely moves the needle. It moves the lethal injection needle directly into my vein. Let's move on for that one, please.
Bro.
Hold on. You say that, but what that game ends up being like 55-52 or something like that.
Sometimes they do though, man. They like
I'll say the needle didn't hit a vein, and I'm struggling with it. And then if it goes down to the wire, it's going in.
John, let me let you in on the secret. This is the same guy that every time the Jacksonville Jaguars lose, he goes to one of the 7 bridges in Jacksonville and
thank you very much.
He tries to jump off the bridge.
Hey,
they got a lot of them in Jacksonville, bro. I've been there quite a few times.
Oh yeah, they got
bridges. Oh, this man,
way too many.
We don't jump. One time he did jump.
Main Street, the Brooklyn, all that.
One time he did jump, and they caught him by the shirt.
Oh my gosh, bro!
I damn near jumped and lost to the Texans last week.
See,
Dameon Pierce masterclass, by the way.
It was not a masterclass. Calm down.
Hey, it was a masterclass for me, fantasy wise.
You ain't lying.
A touchdown will do that to you.
Now, I will say this: if TCU beats Oklahoma State, they're probably going to damn playoffs.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Look at who they beat. They're beating everybody by a lot. They're not just beating people. Think about it. Sonny Dykes could possibly be the hire of like the year easily coming over from SMU to TCU.
Yo, that's fast.
Their defense is playing crazy good. And Duggan's their quarterback. Dude,
that boy's
I don't know. He is accurate, deadly accurate. And I don't know who else will beat him in the Big 12.
I'm taking TCU at home, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm TCU all day on that game. Like that's
all day TCU. Go Frogs. Only thing I see beating them.
I disagree with you, Josh.
I'm definitely.
Josh, we're taking cues, brother. NC State lost their quarterback.
Yeah, they lost their quarterback. Definitely taking Syracuse in that one.
Yeah.
I do give them credit for gutting out a win last week, though. That was impressive.
Or Florida State giving that game away, literally.
Why did they throw the ball though? Like, just dude.
Let me tell y'all, and Jonathan probably knows this because he follows college football. So every time Florida State goes to Raleigh and plays NC State, something weird happens.
Dude, it's like Clemson and NC State. I don't know why a game's always strange.
It's
exactly.
very strange.
You're right on that. You got Okie State.
It's strange.
See, in Gator Josh, like he said, Okie State over TCU. I would feel so much more comfortable picking Okie State over TCU if Spencer Sanders hasn't been known to be so turnover prone.
Yeah, he's turning the ball over a lot. They're winning because their defense, I'm not going to lie, their defense has made a few plays.
Yeah.
So but
they're on the field all the time. So, yeah.
You get away with that for so long. You start playing these good teams and you turn the ball over that much, they're going to take advantage of it and you're going to be out the game fast.
This could be TCU's third top 25 win in a row, by the way.
Yep.
Dang.
They doing work. That's what I'm saying. Like, and if they get past Okie State, let me bring up their schedule. I don't think there's anybody else that's going to challenge them. Kansas State after that, West Virginia, Texas Tech, Texas, Baylor, and Iowa State. Texas, they have a problem in the back end, and they are not going to stop TCU.
Texas and Baylor, I can see there are only 2 other challenges, but
Kansas State could be tricky, possibly, if the running game's on, but nah.
Y'all read this real close.
Vanderbilt
keeps it close pregame, Georgia.
Hey, man, look, it'll be close in pregame. It really will.
What we got? Oh, I'm trying to see which ones.
James Madison, go back up. James Madison, 5 games into their FBS live.
Yeah, I know. Top 25.
25.
Georgia
That's-
Southern beating them, bro. Georgia Southern beating them boys.
That's the agenda.
Jerry,
That's
I know
the agenda.
Georgia
James
Southern.
Madison's been around for how long? 3 years? They've been a pro. Their football program's been around 3 years, right?
No, they've been around longer than that.
Oh, James Madison. I thought they were a new one.
Playoffs, making noise there. So they've been around for a little while. Jerry, we know why you're picking Georgia Southern.
Don't say nothing outlandish. I know where he's going with this.
Exactly. We know why you're picking them.
You should show a little love to the city of Statesboro.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
He
was
said
just
his old girl was at James.
hey, not my own. To me. You ain't gonna put them allegations on me.
It ain't really allegations so much as we got the interview.
To be honest, I like what they're doing.
So James Madison was an FCS team until 3.5 years ago.
Wow.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, think about that. They're a top 25 team, 3 years in the FBS, and Oklahoma is not a top 25.
That's crazy to think about.
In a tailspin right now.
Like, shout out James Madison. That's a good ass program right now. But Oklahoma, what is going on?
James Madison is definitely scoring
And
on Texas, bro. That's all I'm saying. Field goal, something. They finding some way to score.
Yeah, they will.
real quick, I want to ask you real quick before we move on about Oklahoma. Because I know Brent Venables just got there, but seeing Oklahoma lose the way they did against Texas, part of me thinks there's something going on within that program. What do you think?
I think it's due. I personally think I think they need it. I think they need to be grounded because these fans, I'm not gonna lie, and the media pumped Oklahoma up so much.
Tell me about it, man.
Like top 5 playoffs. I was like, man, maybe they'll compete for the Big 12 only because who they have coming in at Dylan Gabriel and those guys and Evan Gray, their running back and all this. They have a lot of talent. And the Big 12 was in turmoil at the beginning of the season. Nobody knew what to expect from anybody. So, of course, you know what I mean? But when people started talking about them beating Nebraska after they fired Scott Frost with Mickey Joseph at coach, like, what? And then they get rolled. Yeah, I was like, yeah, there we go. It humbled them a little bit.
I just think there's something going on within that program. It's something that somebody's not saying. I think it's something going on.
You know what it is? You got 49 Lincoln Riley players left over who are probably behind the scenes going, oh, Lincoln Riley was here, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's over there in the Pac-12 sipping margaritas and beating nobodies.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma was flat out. Yeah, they got out coached. And that's one thing. Brent Venables is a great coordinator, but just because you're a great coordinator doesn't mean you're going to be a great coach year one.
Well,
sorry. I mean,
we got Michigan State, and Wisconsin. I got Wisconsin. Michigan State's just bad.
I got Michigan State. Wisconsin don't even have a damn coach right now.
Yeah, I got Michigan State as well.
It's Michigan State because it's in East Lansing, and
Yeah.
some of the stories I heard about Wisconsin and what went wrong in the Paul Chris, like they were usually a program that would find guys under the radar and offer them like immediately, and they would become like 4-year contributors. They had a linebacker from there that was kind of on the up and up. The recruiting office didn't even know who he was. Like it was a disaster. He ended up going to Michigan. Now he's a contributor over there as a true freshman. So
Paul Chris has a better record than Jim Harbaugh.
That's what
And that man got fired.
The man got
crazy.
Fired
That's crazy, bro.
for having a better record than Jim Harbaugh.
That's nuts.
What?
That's sick work.
But yeah,
y'all want to go to Michigan State?
I'm going Michigan
Yes.
State. Yeah.
Dude, Wisconsin.
Convince me. Besides the fact that Wisconsin doesn't have a coach.
But did you see Nebraska without a coach? Because they're still looking for the team. I don't know if you know that or not. But when they play,
I know.
like Wisconsin, number one, think about this: the shock factor of Paul Chris getting fired. Who saw that coming?
That don't come from nowhere, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I know I was shocked.
I knew things were going wrong, but I didn't see him getting fired immediately.
I thought I was seeing double or something. Like what? But
Hold on. I mean,
Let me bring up the record.
Right? I did not in any way, shape, or form see that coming. So,
Something's going on. I think that we're not being told. Somebody, Paul Chris was slinging something maybe, or
somebody high up in the administration.
he was Joey freshwatering the. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he's doing, bro. Hanging up in the frat houses at 65 years old. I don't know.
Hey man, ain't nothing else doing medicine. You gotta do something on during the fall season.
You guys may have convinced me.
Let me bring up. I gotta bring him. Let me find him real quick.
You guys have convinced me. I'm gonna switch to Michigan State. I mean, I know they've been bad this year. They've been really bad.
They have been.
It's a mid off. Like so you gotta pick somebody.
I mean, bro, they beat Northwestern.
Big whoop, I guess. But
They lost to Illinois 34-10. Lost to Washington State.
Ooh.
Washington State's sneaky good though.
They kind of are.
Yeah, they're not terrible or anything like that. They'll sneak up on someone.
Like my gut tells me to pick Wisconsin, but let me bring up Michigan State. See, the line has already flipped, by the way. Now it's Wisconsin minus 7.5. It was Wisconsin minus 10.5. That's a big movement, by the way.
That's huge.
It's a huge movement from the beginning, but the power index slipped. It was 68% Wisconsin. Now it's 52.4% Wisconsin.
That has a drop.
It's a huge drop.
Yeah, I'm picking Michigan State now after hearing that.
It's because I'm telling you, it's because of the unknown. When you have unknowns like that, man, you just never. I don't know. Like,
You just don't.
I don't
know.
trust it.
We got Mississippi State at Kentucky. I'm gonna go Mississippi State in this game.
Yep.
Yeah, I like too much Will Rogers. The running game's working for them. Mississippi State.
I got Mississippi State, man, going up top and winning.
Yeah, I don't think Kentucky has the firepower to keep up with them.
Now, Mississippi State does run a 3-3-5, which favors the run game. Chris Rod and them. But yeah, I don't see a way Kentucky winning this game. But
They got to outscore them, and I don't think it's going to happen.
Gator Josh, I agree here. My cousin not playing. He out for the season for Stanford, so I can't even pick them no more.
That man's been out for the season for like 2 years, bro. It's so sad.
We don't even know what he got hurt.
Oh, he's played like this is the first year he's really gotten like injured. Like so I can't even pick them, but
Who we got for Clemson, Florida State?
Ooh.
Clemson
At Florida State now.
man,
all in. Go Tigers.
it's gonna be Clemson, man.
It's gonna be Clemson. I'll take Clemson though.
I hope Florida State wins. But
It would be nice to see Florida State. Well, I mean, I hate Florida State, but I mean, it would be cool to see them do that.
What you just say? You fired what?
It would be cool to see it close. I mean,
What? You fired from the pod? What?
He's a generational hater, bro. I swear.
oh man,
But nah,
if they win, we'd be
they're gonna fight. It'll be a tough game. They're at home. Clemson's so talented.
I think it'll be close in the first half. I think the second half. I think the talent that Clemson has, I think they just pull away.
yeah, I can see it.
It'll be close because it's prime time. They're at home. So first half, of course, is going to be close.
We got USC, Utah.
they only got Clemson 3.5.
Uh-oh.
Hammer
Ugh.
Clemson. I'm telling you right now, hammer Clemson.
What happens if Florida State wins, AB?
That's going to be so funny, bro.
Make all of Marcus's hair and beard fall off.
The ACC will be disbanded immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
FCS teams across the board.
Who's even going to win the other division in the ACC?
No, see, Jonathan, it'll be at that point where we know we're living in the simulation.
And that's a good point, man. Florida State beats Clemson. Number one, the Coastal's already like
beat up.
Like it's nasty. Like who's gonna come back?
Somebody's gonna have 4 losses and come out of that.
Clemson is gonna end up playing like I don't know, Virginia Tech. No, not really, but it's gonna be nasty.
It is.
It's gonna be ugly.
Like,
it'd be like, please put the ACC championship on at 11. Don't put that in.
North Carolina's winning the Coastal right now. with Georgia Tech second
Yeah.
and Duke third.
It's bad.
Ew.
This is that offense.
Ew.
Wait,
Okay,
who's
North Carolina's offense is fun, but their defense is horrendous, though.
wait, real quick, Jonathan? Who's second?
It's North Carolina first, Georgia Tech second, Duke third.
Georgia Tech just fired their coach and their athletic director.
Dog, Nebraska's second in their division.
Oh
Big Ten
yeah,
is a
yeah.
mess. I hate the
Yeah.
Big Ten and the way they structure their division so much. Like, why is Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan in the same division? I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I hate that crap.
Nebraska's just got to beat like Minnesota, and they get in every time. It's
It's literally set for Wisconsin to roll every year. If not Wisconsin, maybe Iowa every other like 3 years. But like they're both in the toilet right now, so it's gonna be a mess.
Josh decided to get the Utah Utes over USC. I'm telling you now, man. I got USC. The speed, the vertical threats. I got USC, man. I saw at Utah how they struggled with Anthony Richardson.
I got money on the Utes to win this game.
Yeah, you have to pick Utah. If that's the case.
USC, their average lineman size is 291 pounds. You know what the average defensive line on Utah is? It's like 306.
Yeah, some big boys.
And let me tell you something. USC, if you go back and watch the Arizona State game, if you watch the Oregon State game, look at what they struggled against. They cannot. Their O-line sucks bad.
Yeah, that's true.
So Utes going to be in that game.
This game is in Salt Lake City too.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put money on it. I didn't care. I'm like, nah, I'm sticking with my guns. Logic tells me interior wins, or at least gives them a chance, right? Like at least gives them a chance.
USC is out of the playoff if that's the case.
Remember Tavion Thomas, Utah on offense, and that's going to give USC issues.
Yeah.
Right.
Woo.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry.
Oh, no bet.
No bad. Like, I think Utah's primed to beat USC. I think the team is built to beat USC. Like, and to watch Emory Jones, he kind of torched USC.
Yeah, he
If you watched that game, I was like, damn, he looked good, man. Like, of course.
You know what, Jonathan? Last night on Indisputable Evidence, I picked Utah and switched to USC. After hearing you say that, I'm switching back to Utah.
I don't have faith in USC right now.
Utah. All I needed to hear was Emory Jones torching USC.
Yeah.
And that was it.
He kept him in the game for about 2.5 to 3 quarters almost. Like,
yeah.
Jerry,
and he was hurt.
I got USC.
You should get this bet. Just read it.
Let me look at the line on this. Because the line cannot be much.
Josh, I tell you what, bro.
Probably razor thin. It has to be.
You posted our on here, and the world shall know that I chose USC over Utah.
Utah's favored 3.5. There you go.
I'm picking Utah.
Okay.
And Utah power index is pushing. It went from 52% to 61.7 in one day. Utah. It's because I'm telling you, it's because of it's the style of matchup. Utah ripped Oregon State apart 42-16, right? And then Oregon State almost beat USC. USC had to win on the last drive of the game.
Styles make fights.
Yep.
That's true.
So let me bring up real quick Caleb Williams. Let me bring up his past couple games real quick against Washington.
He kind of dropped down a little bit, I feel like.
He did. Washington State 15-29, not even he's 52%, 188 yards, 2 TDs, 0 interceptions. Arizona State 27-37. He went off in that game. 348, 3 touchdowns and 1. But Arizona State has literally no defense.
Yeah, their defense is garbage.
Like trash.
Yeah.
Oregon State, he went 16-36, 180 yards, 1 TD, no interceptions.
Ooh, 16 for 36 is nasty.
Like he has not had that great of a season.
Yeah.
Damn, the game ain't even on our docket on there. On the one thing I'm part of where we pick against spread, that game's not even on there. I was looking to see if it was, it's not.
And he's not running hardly anything. 9 attempts, 34 yards, 844, 927, 12 rushes, 1 yard, 9 rushes, 4 yards.
He's right about this because you got to think about the altitude in Salt Lake City.
It's the matchup, bro. It really is about the matchups, and this it does not favor.
It does not favor
USC.
It does not favor them at all. Now, speaking of interesting, go ahead.
No, that's it. That's it. Go ahead.
It's gonna be interesting to see for sure.
Now, speaking of interesting, Washington State at Oregon State.
Oh boy,
that's a game. That's another matchup style game, man.
Yeah.
Because Washington State's been really good this year, but that Oregon State defensive line, like you said earlier,
Andrew Chatfield, shout out to the man.
Bro, they gave USC fits and should have won that game.
Yeah.
Like the only game they got blown out was Utah. Other than that, they lost to USC 17-14. They beat Stanford. They beat Montana State, Fresno State, Boise State. Oregon State's a team that can win games.
Why you had to bring up Stanford fumbling the bag, man?
Man, look.
It'd be like that, man.
It is what it is, bro.
You do that, man. I went to bed that night thinking they was up. I'm like, all right, let me go to bed.
I got Washington State in this game. They lost to 2 quality opponents.
They did. They lost to USC and
Oregon.
So yeah.
Yeah, they're beating people.
Those were close games too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Washington State, but I think this game is gonna be close because I think that Oregon State defensive line can give Washington State some issues. But I think Washington State wins that game.
Pac-12 is garbage.
It's just been.
Pac-12 was something else. Unless it's after dark, I'm really not checking for the Pac-12 like that.
Like, I'll tell you another team. UCLA is, in my opinion, the most impressive team in the Pac-12.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Here's what's crazy, and I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. In 2018, there were 4 coaches hired: Dan Mullen, Willie Taggart, Scott Frost, and Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly, yeah.
Guess which coach is still at his original school right now?
Yeah. Chip Kelly's still at UCLA.
Ain't that something? And you know why? They gave him time. He got everything turned around, and he's reaping the benefits of that time that he was.
Plus, no one remembered the fact that he had some down years because they got to a Final Four in basketball, so they let him cook.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's true.
And he ended up beating teams that he wasn't supposed to beat, like LSU. Sissy Blue game.
Appreciate you for being here, Josh. And they're getting up at 5 a.m. for work is too much pressure. That should be illegal. I'm sorry. That should be illegal.
We're actually going to finish this thing up, man. We got 2 more picks, Josh. If you hang on, bro, we're going to do the LSU, Florida, and he
already did those picks. I'm going to go back up to those. We'll do Tennessee and Alabama first.
Yep.
You already know who I'm going with. Roll Tide.
Oof. All right, man. All right.
Let's do it.
Roll Tide.
Oh my God.
Sean Holden gets a touchdown.
John already he tweeted at me the other day. And I said I got Tennessee winning. I got Tennessee beating Alabama, man. I don't know.
Scared now, ain't you?
No. I got Tennessee winning, man. I think Hendon Hooker. I think he's gonna have a pretty good game. I think it's finally time. It's been a funky year. I've never seen Florida lose to Kentucky and Tennessee in the same year. And I've also never seen Tennessee beat Alabama, I don't think. So yeah. I'm gonna choose Tennessee to beat Alabama. But
I really do not remember them beating Alabama in my entire lifetime. I really don't remember it.
I don't remember, bro.
It's been 16 years.
I was in you said 16 years. Yeah, I was in the 7th grade or 8th grade. No, I was in 8th grade. Yeah, I was in 8th grade.
I was.
I'm on.
Tennessee knows how to have long losing droughts against rivals. They really do.
Yeah, I was in the 8th grade. I'm gonna be 30 next month.
Thank God. But it's all depending on if Bryce Young is healthy and if Milroe's playing all that. If Bryce Young's playing, I'd say I'd slightly give it to Alabama.
He's playing. He's playing.
He's pulling the Lee Corso.
I don't know, man. I just
Hey, bro, really, man, really.
Is this how close to be picking games?
Marcus, you dead wrong for that.
man,
I'll pick last on this one.
I'm going Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee 34-33.
This is not going to be a low scoring game. I'll tell you that much. It's not. Because Bama's going to do what they do. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a huge game here. But I do feel like the stars are aligning right now for Tennessee.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro.
I'll take Tennessee. I'll take them in 38-35 shootout.
Okay. And my score is going to be – y'all going to be a little surprised by this.
No, I know you're going to say Alabama's going to blow them out.
In Bama.
What'd you say?
38-27 Bama.
We knew it was going to be a double-digit win for you choosing Bama. We knew that.
No,
All right.
Really.
You did. Stop.
No, because I almost went with 38-31. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay.
By almost, you went from 98%. You were gonna pick the blowout to 90%. You're gonna pick the blowout.
No, I'm not picking the blowout. Yeah, I'm not picking the blowout at all.
So
what my 38-27 score is on this is going to be 31-27, late touchdown by Alabama.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Basically, give me almost like just
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to give you my reasoning behind this. Bryce Young plays. There's no way Tennessee wins. Why? Because Hendon Hooker had his best game of the season against Alabama last year, and they lost by 26 points. That's the first thing. The defense has not improved from last season.
Nope.
So if someone can explain to me what changes in Bryce Young to have, 4 interceptions maybe, the Tennessee defense can't cause turnovers, like what is drastically changed. Now, if Jalen Milroe plays, I'll say that because of the chaos it creates in Knoxville, I think Tennessee can win the game, but it's going to have to be like a last-second field goal. But I'll be honest, I'm still going to have to pick Bama both ways because it's 16 years. Tennessee can't stop the run. Jalen Milroe runs a 4.37. I mean, we saw the dude already run. And I don't think Saban is going to allow Jalen Milroe to do this week what he did last week, which was throw the ball deep. I think he's going to keep slants, outs, everything probably 15 yards and inside. And where does Alabama, play best at? It's in those positions when you're looking at the speed of Isaiah Bond, Kobe Prentice, Jermaine Burton with the sure hands, Ja'Cory Brooks, like Jahmyr Gibbs is our leading wide receiver. You know what I mean? So what you're probably going to end up seeing is Jahmyr Gibbs, a two-back set with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jason McClellan on one side, pushing Jahmyr out to the outside to push the man coverage and exposing the linebackers and safeties. And they're not going to let Hendon Hooker get in rhythm because they're going to keep him off the field.
John,
I do.
Preach, Pastor.
And to put things in perspective, Tennessee was actually rolling into that game last year. They only lost to Georgia, by the way. Hendon Hooker went 19-28, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And the interception was actually at the very end of the game, so I really won't count like a last-second Hail Mary.
Yeah.
A rating of 180.7, 13 rushes for 27 yards. But to be fair, one thing I don't like about college either, they count rushing yards against you on sacks. I hate that. So you really never know the true numbers.
Yeah.
So, and if you go and look what happened after the Alabama loss, Tennessee fell apart. So, like, they started losing games and losing them bad. So
that pretty much happens at all.
And that's the thing, though. What has changed in Tennessee to make them believe they can beat Alabama now when they haven't 16 years in a row? There has to be a culture change, and I don't know if it's there yet.
Yeah, man, it's definitely tough. I mean, I honestly felt like Florida. Huh?
I'm giving you a mark. It's one final chance.
I got Tennessee because I'll tell you this. I don't think that Bryce Young will put up more yards than what Anthony Richardson did on Tennessee.
You don't think Bryce Young will?
Mm.
Oh my man. Oh my
Or-
man.
Bro,
Oh my man.
or Jalen Milroe.
You understand Bryce Young's strength, right?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I was going to.
I know.
If-
Exposing the
If
safeties.
Anthony Richardson can throw for 350 plus on that secondary,
And how many rushing yards? How many rushing yards?
yeah, he went for over 100. But what the hell?
Didn't he have 500 yards total?
He had 515 total.
Bro, he's not putting up 515 yards.
He
I
threw
mean,
450 yards on that secondary and 62 on the ground.
AV, I'm
53
telling
in
you.
the air, 62 on the ground.
In AV, I'm telling you right now, Montrell Johnson and ETN could not do anything on that defense. They couldn't do anything. And we utilized tight ends too. They couldn't do anything, bro.
so
I'm telling you.
I love our running back, but Jahmyr Gibbs is better than both of them. Let's be real.
Bryce Young had 371 yards by the middle of the third quarter before he left the game against Tennessee last year.
But bro, Emory Jones had a legacy game against Tennessee last year. It's not the same team. I'm telling you, it's not the same.
Jerry, like I said,
Emory Jones had a legacy game against Tennessee last year.
You're
Bro.
literally making our point.
Okay, I'm just telling you, bro. It's not gonna be the same.
Anthony Richardson can throw for 450 plus on them. What the hell you think Bryce Young finna do?
Okay.
We're using transitive properties in college football right now.
You got to stop using transitive property.
With
Yeah,
a receiving core.
So, and you look at the schedule too. Tennessee's beat Ball State, Pitt, Akron, Florida, LSU. Name a consistent, dominant quarterback in any of those teams. There's not one, and they've been ripped apart in the secondary by quarterbacks that are not elite in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
that's the problem Tennessee's going to have. Tennessee, if they had a pass rush, I would be way more convinced to pick Tennessee. But the lack of pass rush is what worries me because
they don't have one.
They don't have one, and even if they did, in my opinion, it's a bad matchup. Now I'm convincing myself to actually pick out Alabama even more because Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get the ball more out of the backfield in this game because they're going to be the one running the screens. They're going to slow down Tennessee's because we already know what Tennessee's going to do. They're going to bring the corners and safeties on these blitzes. That's the best way to expose Bryce Young. The problem is when you have Jahmyr Gibbs catching the ball.
Yeah,
that's where the problem lies. But I'll say this: if there's ever a year Tennessee wins, this is it. This is your opportunity. So if it's going to happen, this is it.
That's what I'm saying. I just feel like Tennessee is freaking destined.
If they don't win this game, they're never winning against Alabama ever again.
Yeah, it's a psyche thing after that. Arkansas has never beat Saban at Alabama. That's why I always pick against Arkansas. It's like, man, Arkansas doesn't know how to beat them. They don't know how to get past it.
And my last point is Nick Saban against Heisman black quarterbacks.
Anyways, relax.
Okay, Cam Newton.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hendon Hooker is good, but he ain't
Heisman this year.
No, he's top 5 right now. If he wins, he's gonna be top 3.
He's top 2 right now, personally. It's him and CJ Stroud for me.
His Heisman dreams will die this weekend. Actually, no, they won't. They won't die. But he'll
slow down.
He beat Georgia. He could go and beat Georgia. So,
now, if he beats Georgia and Alabama, he's going to number 1.
He's going.
He beats those two teams.
He's going 1-1. He's either going to beat Alabama or beat Georgia. I don't think he's going to beat both. I'll say that much.
I think he beats Georgia personally.
I said this last night. They have a better shot at beating Georgia than they do with Alabama.
They do because, hands down, we have a way better secondary.
Stetson Bennett, no.
I also don't trust Georgia's offense at all.
No.
That Missouri game.
Ew.
Now the scariest game on the schedule, on the docket, and it is scary.
Especially for yours truly.
LSU in Florida.
So I'll start off since you guys are Florida fans to make that way you can give a way longer answer, obviously. So LSU at Florida, I'm picking Florida in this game.
Yeah.
Number 1, I can't stand Brian Kelly, and I'll pick against him if they play Jackson State or Jacksonville State. I don't care.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I might pick them if they did play Jackson State. I might pick Jackson State. Not even trying to be funny.
That's fine too. To be honest with you, I'd be inclined to.
I don't trust Jaden. I don't trust their defense. Nothing's been consistent on the team. He's lost the locker room, by the way. Yet players saying crazy things. Like nothing is saying, here you go. They should win this game because of this. Nothing tells me any of that.
Damn, he's 6 games into the season and already lost the locker room.
No, he lost the locker room against Florida State.
Yeah.
When that whole incident happened. He
game and already damn.
Like, bro, you can't struggle against sorry teams like they have.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Oh, well, Marcus, you want to go or you want me to?
Man, I'll go. Screw it.
Yeah.
I said a prayer on the last night's podcast that we win this game because I got a lot riding on this.
Yeah.
It's Florida LSU. The game's being played on my birthday.
Oh.
Last time I saw a Florida LSU game in the weekend of my birthday did not go well, 2014.
Jesus Christ.
This series is always wacky for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
The two teams who have talent, but they're inconsistent as hell. Quarterbacks that can make things happen, but again, inconsistent as hell. But we're in the swamp. I trust Anthony Richardson more than I trust Jaden Nails. I love our run game. If we actually use it, Billy, you please use it. I'll take Florida 27-24. Please don't make me look like a fool. Please.
21-17 is when I'm taking Florida at.
I see, man. I'm kind of. I don't really know what to expect. I'm going to the game, so that's why I'm leaning Florida. We have a tremendous record whenever I go. I think we've only lost once. I've been going since I was like 10 years old. So
same here, and it was 2017 when I went to the Florida State game.
Yeah, we lost one time I went to the swamp, so I'm bad luck.
Yeah, I think pull it out just because I'm there, but I think Jaden Daniels is going to give us problems on third down, not because he's an accurate passer, anything like that. I think we have busts in coverage that I can hit and break down. I think Brenton Cox is going to have a very difficult time sacking him. I think Brenton Cox is going to have a very hard time sacking Jaden Daniels because he's very fast.
In the coverage.
What are you talking about? Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but we're not.
You ain't wrong, but
oh man,
if we have a hard time stopping Jaden Daniels on third down and they're able to run the ball on us,
we're screwed.
We're going to lose the football game. I'll tell you that much. We're going to lose the football game. But if Anthony Richardson can mitigate mistakes, I don't care if he throws for 36 yards. Just don't throw an interception. Just don't fumble the ball. Let's run the football down their throats. Let's win the rushing battle, and I think we can win the football game. But again, if we can't get off the field on third down, we will lose. But I will take Florida 28 to 24. 28-24 Florida. If we do what we have to do as far as running the football. If we turn the ball over, we're losing.
See, me, Jonathan, I'm not going to show you. I said who's busting the covers for a reason. I'm not going to show you why though. I'm not going to do it.
Tape up, it's pretty easy to see.
Yeah. If you watched a couple weeks ago, if you watched that stream, then yeah, you saw it. You saw it.
God.
But, looking at this game, it's kind of hard to pick it because these teams are eerily similar. Number one, the only difference is one coach, as Jonathan already said, has already lost the locker room. The other one didn't.
Still gaining it. It's the GOAT.
Yeah,
he's still gaining the locker room. But looking at this game, I got Florida winning for this reason. Number one, I think we are going to utilize this run game and get these running backs going. Anthony Richardson is going to get himself involved in the run game. Maybe not too much. Won't want to get hurt.
I'm not relying on that, bro.
But
I'm not banking on it.
Not too much. Just maybe a couple of runs here and there. But also, the info I was fed just a few hours ago, tell you right now, this entire staff is taking this game personally. And I think we all know why.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely some bitterness there.
We all know why.
Yeah.
Because when the school passes you over for a job and you literally right down the road, they still pass you over, yeah, you're going to feel some type of way. So me personally, Jared, we got the same exact score. I got 28-24, and this is going to be the surprising part of why we win 28-24. It's going to be just like the Utah game.
Wait,
Makes a stop at the end late in this game.
don't. I'm already getting anxiety, bro. Don't do this, bro.
Yo, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Did I not say that for the Utah game?
You did.
And what happened?
You're right, bro.
As bad as they look at times, in a close game like that, we're up. I'm not saying I fully trust them because I don't, but I do think they will make a play late. Like the Missouri game, Missouri driving, getting ready to try to tie the game. They stop on 4th down. You just never know. I think they get a stop late in this game, seal the deal, and get that monkey off their back. We've lost 3 straight games to LSU. I'm tired of losing this team. I'm sick and tired of losing this damn team.
Me too, bro.
I remember Jerry ran the poll earlier on Twitter. Like, who you see as a bigger rival, Tennessee or LSU? Tennessee. I'm pretty sure LSU did. Tennessee. LSU did. I'm pretty sure, right?
LSU won the poll.
Yeah, for some reason, because like Tennessee, in the grand scheme of our actual season and our goals that we have in front of us, usually they're the more important team. This is a divisional rival, you know. Game, it's a mistake. When it comes to LSU, I just fucking hate those guys. Because I have real, because me and Jerry, we're younger, UF fans.
Yeah.
We don't really have memories of Tennessee beating us like that. We don't.
No, bro. I remember Percy Harvin like doing like 3 spins on Tennessee. I mean, those are my memories. Chris Lee,
having the legacy game.
You guys are young, bro.
Yeah, they have those memories. I do as well. I also have the memory of 2001.
I don't remember that. I don't remember nothing. I was 3.
You were 3? Oh,
2,
God.
2 actually, 2.
Jesus, now I do feel a little.
I was born 1997, so I don't know that game.
98.
That was.
I was born 85.
Oh man.
No, I don't remember Tennessee really winning. Like we went from like first grade to freshman year of college for them to beat us. LSU, yeah. I remember them going on 4th down like 20,000.
Jacob Hester runs over Major Wright. Jesus.
Yes. I remember them faking a damn field goal and Anthony Tolliver beating us. I remember Leonard Fournette running guy over in the end zone. I remember 3rd and 26. I remember a drop touchdown pass with Tevin Westbrook. I remember having to go to Baton Rouge when the game was supposed to be in Gainesville. I remember Ty Davis Price having a legacy game last year.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand LSU.
Like I said though, with Tennessee and Bama, I don't really have memories of Bama like losing to them. Like I just don't.
I do. I have plenty.
See, they're showing how young they are. See, 2001 to me, that year we lost Tennessee. That is the most devastating loss I've ever seen as a Florida fan. It's the most devastating loss I've seen that wasn't a national championship game.
There wasn't a national championship game. Yeah, I remember T. Martin winning.
National championship caliber team.
Yeah.
In 2001.
Yeah.
That was a national championship caliber team. And that game, if you remember, was supposed to be played in December, but 9/11 happened. So there was a sporting event.
Oh, shoot.
The game got moved. They played Tennessee after the Florida State.
Exactly, moved it.
Oh, what?
They played Florida State, beat the brakes off them, and then they got to play Tennessee late that year after that game. If they would have played Tennessee when they were supposed to, well, they would have
beat them.
They would have.
It wasn't good early in the season. Then they kind of got together late. So we call them
late. They got better, and so that game ends up being 34-32. We score a touchdown to make it 34-32, and then the referee on the 2-point conversion decides to keep his flag in his pocket, knowing damn well it was pass interference.
Wow.
Dude,
I put the play on here, but I start crying.
I remember in 98 when Arkansas played Tennessee. You know, that's the year Tennessee won the national championship with T. Martin. I remember when Tennessee played Arkansas, and Arkansas was winning with less than, I think it was like a minute or 50 seconds left, and their damn quarterback, their right guard stepped on their quarterback's foot and made him fumble the ball. Yep. And Tennessee got the ball and won.
The quarterback, what's his name? Matt Jones. Was it Matt Jones?
No, it wasn't Mac Jones. It was some Stony Brook or some weird ass name.
Oh,
'Cause he was a Joe Schmo nobody, but they had a really good team. They had two really good running backs that year.
Was it like Clint Storner or somebody like
Yeah,
that?
Stower, yeah, something like that. Yep.
They had a weird
And
name.
T. Martin was the quarterback for them then when they won a championship.
Yeah, then because a lot of people think it was Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was 99. He never won a national championship.
Oh,
Never beat Florida either.
Yeah,
Nope.
he never beat Florida.
Nope.
so the last time Tennessee won a championship, they had
98.
they had a black quarterback.
Yes, T. Martin. That'd be correct.
Hendon Hooker.
You think they're gonna win a national championship?
No.
Good, possibly. I don't know if they can pass the gauntlet.
I think if they were to like get to the SEC championship, I think y'all would play them. But like Saban would freaking, it wouldn't be nice. Saban would
They
kill
will do some diabolical shit.
championship. Huh?
Like Saban's gonna be diabolical if that
I'll
happens.
go a step further.
And to show you,
It's gonna shock y'all. Tennessee ain't even going to the SEC championship.
no, it's gonna be Georgia.
Bingo.
Yeah, it's gonna be Georgia,
Don't
dude.
say that.
And to show you my age even more, I remember when it was national news that Steve Spurrier became the very first head coach to make $1 million in one season.
Bro.
He was the very first $1 million head coach.
Now in the SEC, if you're making like 3 or 4, it's like that's like
Minimum. Like
Yeah,
Saban is now making 11.5.
yeah, like $1 million. That's what your coordinator is making. If he's a really good one, he's making like 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
Here's Josh's prediction.
Gators bend don't break.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
I want to blow them out. I don't want nothing close. I'm tired of close games.
I want to
Out too, but we come on now.
I want to survive my 25th birthday without having stress and a heart attack and aneurysms and all that. That's all. I just want peace.
Mark,
I want
probably going to jump off the bridge anyway because the Jags play the next day.
Now, I wanted to ask John real fast though, because I'm a big fan of McClellan, right? Like, I love
yeah,
that game.
I am too.
So, how much do you think y'all would utilize him? Because I think if y'all utilize the running backs, y'all win the game.
Against Tennessee, he's going to be featured. He'll be featured against Tennessee because he's more of a downhill runner. In my opinion, he's the best overall running back. I get people are enamored by Jamar Gibbs and his ability to catch and how elusive he is. But when you're talking about pure overall style running back, Jason McClellan is the dude. He's a beast. I think
Brian Robinson last year when he was the best running back on that team.
Dude, Brian Robinson had no business being a starter at Alabama, period, in my opinion.
And shout out to him for coming back, making his NFL debut this
No shit. Shot in the leg twice. And then dude, like I like Brian Robinson. He was from Tuscaloosa and he stayed there 4 years. Like he waited his turn, but sometimes Nick Saban gets enamored with this whole wait your turn, you deserve your reps.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't buy into that. I believe that if somebody's better than you, they should be starting.
The game is
Jason.
Is To'o you guys' best linebacker? You think?
Now, yes, this year because he finally started playing the way he's supposed to be playing.
Yeah,
Jerry,
but
I'm glad you brought him up for this reason.
yeah, it's
his game personally.
It's a revenge tour game for him.
It's true. Yeah,
and he had his best game last year against Tennessee. So it's one of those things where it's a psychological thing, I'm sure too. But it's crazy now. Long term, you're talking about what Deontay Lawson could look like by the end of the season. It's scary because that dude is a true freshman, took Jalen Moody's job, a senior's job, and now started calling plays. He subbed in for To'o. Was it in the third quarter, from the third into the fourth quarter last week against A&M, and was calling plays. That never happens, ever happens at Alabama. Yeah. So this kid is going to be something special. But no, right now To'o is the best linebacker in my opinion we have.
Gotcha. It's interesting, man, because Alabama's, I think they're getting better, like game by game. Like
we are.
They're trending upwards, and I think a team like that, I do think you guys are probably going to win a championship. You guys are Ohio State, but the bumps in the road happen, like the Bo Wallace situations, like just those. So,
well, I mean, look at how many times a team wins a national championship that goes undefeated. It's rare. Most of the time, you don't do it. You lose a game here and there, like. It could be an SEC championship game. Hell, I mean, when we played LSU, game of the century, stupid field goal game.
You
Because
got
they,
revenge.
The
Do
game
what?
where turned against the SEC.
revenge.
I couldn't hear you, AB. What?
You got your revenge because they didn't even cross the 50-yard line. In the
Oh yeah, you're right on that. That was the sorriest game I ever seen in my life.
Like that team went undefeated in the regular season with Jarrett Lee and Jordan Jefferson at quarterback. Like that's actually
Dude. Look, LSU's always had one issue outside of Joe Burrow, and we know that's quarterbacks. If they had a quarterback, LSU should probably win like 9 national championships since 2000. I mean, think about how many.
That sounds interesting, bro. Because they have a. That's why the Florida LSU thing is just such a rivalry to me because Florida and LSU have both had issues with quarterbacks over the like Kyle Trask is probably the only quarterback we can say has like been over the last few years.
And even
Yeah.
Think about this, man. That's why I'm so hard and critical on Jimbo Fisher. Like, what is Jimbo Fisher supposed to be known for? Offense and a QB whisper. Outside of Jameis Winston, name me a quarterback he's put in the NFL that's been successful. Name me a quarterback, period, that's been successful.
You can't say Killer Mon got a bag based off of beating a terrible Florida defense.
Dude, Kellen Mond,
he ain't even in the league no more.
that man got, I can't even tell you, he probably still has nightmares from playing Alabama. It was so bad. Just like Kyler Murray. You cannot put those type of guys against Alabama defense. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
That's why they never worked out. The exception, obviously, Johnny Manziel. But that wasn't Jimbo Fisher. Once again, Brian Kelly, always issues with the quarterback.
It was throw the ball to Mike Evans and scramble around.
Bro, and Evans was a beast. Like Steven Garcia torched us with Alshon Jeffrey in 2010.
So we can go disrespect.
It's always a big physical playmaking wide receiver with these mobile quarterbacks.
Well, of course. Man-to-man coverage, one-on-one. That's how you beat us.
Trevon Grimes, Pat Surtain.
Mike Williams in the championship.
Like, it doesn't – everybody thinks it's all complicated to beat Alabama. And I'm like, no. Because you know what Alabama's going to do. They're going to play man-to-man coverage, one up. They're going to bring down a safety, and you're going to have somebody singled out on one side of the field. It's not complicated. The complicated part is, can you get the ball off on time? That's the complicated. Because they're blitzing.
If you get off, will you make a play?
Exactly. Like, you got a 50-50 chance. Look at Texas. They were catching them because you get those 50-50 balls. Same thing when we played you guys last year. Like, if you get it off on time, you got a chance. But, will you pick to the side of the field?
Oh, my God. Xavier Henderson and Emory connection. Wow.
Oh,
bro. Like, I don't know why people are enamored by this Alabama thing. I'm like, man, it doesn't take a genius, bro.
Yeah, and you even look back at the championship last year, even though you guys are hurt, Stetson Bennett's throwing it up there in the end zone, like guy coming down the ball. It's like, oh, okay, I guess.
It's like Saban says, his defense is not complicated. If your guy makes better plays than my guy, you will win. That's what he said when he first got to Alabama. It's not complicated. If you throw the ball up, it's going to be one-on-one coverage, right? Most of the time, if your quarterback knows how to read a defense. Now, the problem therein lies, like Hendon Hooker, we don't know if he knows how to read a defense. We're about to find out because last year we didn't blitz him. You best believe this year we're coming. So we're about to see if he can read a defense.
Right.
Definitely.
Before we get off here, anybody got any final thoughts?
I'm just excited, bro. That's my final thought. I'm excited about this weekend. It's gonna be
Separation Saturday, bro. Separation Saturday.
We're gonna see who's really about it.
Yeah.
Saturday, big day for me. Big day for Florida. Please win this game. I want a happy, peaceful, tranquil birthday. And I want this program to make me proud. Please.
Yep.
This man feeling like he's sweating right now.
I'm damn right.
If Jalen Milroe's starting, you're not going to hear from me. Like, I'm going to be on oxygen, dog.
Hold on. Unless they win. Oh, you going to hear from John that they win.
Oh, you'll hear me, but I'll be on oxygen. I promise you that. I'm going to be screaming, yelling. I'm going to be on oxygen, bro. I'm going to need oxygen because I already know what's going to happen. Like,
I didn't believe in Milroe, but damn, the kid got the job done.
He did. That's going to be my take.
Breaking news: Bryce Young is playing.
I mean, I believe he will play.
If he does play, man, my hope is just that he stays healthy. I don't want no injuries to Bryce. Kids are great prospects. So
protect yourself, stay healthy, make plays when they're there.
And they're not gonna release it until the game time like they did last week. Did you see what they did to the tunnel? They wouldn't let no cameras view in the tunnel. They made this Alabama staff hold up towels and they blocked off the entire tunnelway. That way nobody could see who's warming up. They made the quarterbacks warm up in the tunnel.
That sounds so much Alabama.
That's so saving.
That's Saban and Belichick, bro.
Yep.
They're not going to give you any information at all.
None.
You're going to be keep guessing. And they closed off practice this week to all media. So nobody's going to know.
Good as it should.
You know, Saban takes it a step further by making up scenarios to be mad about, and it motivates the team. Rat poison, baby.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he'll be asking for it.
Yeah.
And before we get off there, I would like to make this announcement real quick. You're going to probably have to do our Georgia preview next week because the week after that, I will be
I forgot about that.
On the West Coast having a good time. Wondering when I'll return back to Pensacola and go back to my job. I'll call them and let them know my decision.
Oh, God.
Yeah, coming back. Wait, hold on. The determining factor for me is going to be whether I want to deal with LA traffic every day.
You will.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, that probably means I'll be back.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to leave for work 3 hours early just to be 30 minutes late.
Yeah. Where are you going?
LA.
Yeah, I've been there. Oh, I lived in Edwards, a station at Edwards Air Force Base right above LA, man. I was there all the time on the 405. Devil's Highway, as they call it.
You know, so
I believe it.
traffic was hell.
Bro, you can keep that. That's all I'm going to say.
But if I come back for the next episode and I have a completely different accent, you know why.
What's
Well, if you're driving, you're going to be broke because gas out there is like $6 a gallon.
At one point, it was $8.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, if I lived out there, like, where we going?
Dude,
Where
you
we
need
going?
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Crenshaw.
Not going to Roscoe.
There's plenty of Roscoe's not in Crenshaw. Just don't go to that one.
Oh, my God.
That's all I'm saying.
Go in there sauced up, bro. Some
The
jewelry.
only place you can go to that one, call it a day, bro. That's all you gotta do.
No, don't go to Roscoe's.
Because I ain't going to Roscoe's anytime soon. Nope.
Stay out of Crenshaw and all those whites. Stay out of there, bro.
The
Check
hell?
in, AB. You gotta check in, remember?
Check in, yeah. Check in.
I will send y'all a text telling y'all I'm all right. I'm good.
Good.
Okay.
And see, I was gonna try to go to the Suns Clippers game, but parents don't want to go because it's not the Lakers. Like, well, damn, it's a good game anyway. You said find sporting events out there. What? Just in case I find one, y'all don't want to go. Like, come on, man.
Still Staples. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
They want to watch. They want to watch.
Now, see, because they were flying in, the Lakers actually played earlier that day. By the time we get there, the game is going to be like 30 minutes away from starting. So we're not going to get off the plane and go straight to crypto. And then the Clippers play later that night. So I'm thinking, okay, probably missed the Laker game. We go to the Clipper game. Nope, they don't want to do that because my parents are diehard Laker fans.
oh, I got you.
They're not trying to see Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Cooper Darrell, and all his stuff on the sideline. They're not trying to see that for some reason. I'm like, all right.
I mean, I want to see Kawhi Leonard. I mean, if you're a Lakers fan, why are you even worried about the Clippers at all?
No, honestly.
Yeah, you're just going to see a game. Not. I'm a Heat fan, but they're not out. Actually, they will be on the West Coast, but they will not be there. I saw this. I was like, that pisses me off. Y'all gonna be on the West Coast, and y'all ain't gonna be in LA while I'm out there. Come on, man.
Yeah, I go to Spurs games all the time because they're so cheap here.
Well, I can see why they're so cheap. Is there anything to do in San Antonio?
There's a lot to do here, bro.
Walk.
San Antonio's a big city.
Name 5 things.
Name 5 things. You have Schlitter. Do you have Schlitterbahn? Do you have Oktoberfest? Like the actual German, they have a German city inside a city here. It's called Schlitterbahn. You got that. You have, Six Flags. You got SeaWorld. You got the Spurs. You got UTSA. You got the Riverwalk. You got Alamo. You got Austin right up the road from you, literally right up the road. You have New Braunfels, which is the city with the most water parks in the U.S., which is like 17 water parks, and it's built on a moving like river. Like there's a lot to do here. and it's military city. And me being a veteran, everything's discounted like 40%, so it's cheap.
That's
But yeah, man.
Not thought.
No, there's San Antonio is actually a lot, and there's a lot more people here than I thought too. By the way, I didn't know this is one of the largest cities in the U.S.
7th largest, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to talk to Charles Barkley and tell him to stop talking about the women now.
Now there is some big old girls here,
He's not wrong though.
but hey, big girls need loving too, bro. Like,
Let's be nice.
Hey, just because it gets overshadowed, it's not like Jacksonville. Like it's a big city, but it gets overshadowed by other more glamorous cities in the same state. Like we have Miami here,
Orlando, Tampa, Miami.
And in Texas,
exactly.
You have Dallas, you have Austin. You got
Dallas, Austin. Yep. So like there's actually like, dude, compared to where I've lived, this is amazing. Now my wife's from Port St. Lucie, Florida. And she lived in Miami. So like, yeah, so she's all about, that side. Me, I grew up in Alabama, this small ass city. So like coming here and seeing 6 interstates and one's because this is a hub for Texas and San Antonio. I'm like, what do you mean there's not horses on the highways here? not really, but you know what I mean? Like there's just a lot more traffic here. And everywhere I've been stationed is super small outside of Panama City. And even in Panama City is not really that big. So it's just hubbed in one area. But yeah, man, there's a lot to do in San Antonio. But there is a lot more than what I thought. I was under the same impression as you, man, till you get here.
You're killer in the room.
What you talking about?
Open it. Michael Myers is behind you.
Michael Myers.
One's open.
Yeah, your door is opening.
I closed it, bro.
No, that door was open.
I did it.
Oh, this sounds like
he thought something was coming through, bro.
Oh, yep.
Protecting that, bro.
It's that LSU defense coming through.
Oh Christ! I got to look up the LSU running backs and wide receivers. Get a little more info on them so I can see who's going to terrorize me.
I'll say this: if the Braves win their series, they're down 1 game to none right now, unfortunately. But if they win their series and the Dodgers win their series, maybe I can go to a Braves-Dodgers game. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can do that if I'm still out there. I'm just I got to find something. Now them tickets probably gonna be expensive as hell, but hey.
They're gonna be way up there,
boy.
Yeah, ain't gonna be
one thing LA loves more than the Lakers is the Dodgers.
Yeah. Now
I love the Dodgers more than the Lakers. You can get that.
If there is one thing, like it's a Lakers and Dodgers town, it's not close.
Doesn't Magic own part of the Dodgers too?
Yep.
He's in the group, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This man owns like LA, pretty much. Oh man.
Who got the song this week, Jerry?
I think it might be me. Or is it Marcus?
No, I had for Tennessee
last week.
Oh yeah, I think ABU had it.
I had it last week.
2 weeks ago.
I can't believe James Madison.
Well, you know what? Let's give John some in the week.
What's up?
We gonna let you pick the song of the week.
Pick the song, bro. Pick the song that you
pick
want.
Song of the week. I don't even know what we're talking about now.
Yeah, we'll put it at the end of the podcast. So when we end, the song will come on. Like if you listen to the audio version.
Like is this any song at all?
Yeah, any song you want to. We put it in the show.
Man, I've been listening to a lot of Juice WRLD lately. Hang on, I got to look up. Let me yeah.
Juice
oh, real quick, all my Gator fans here. Can we all agree that there's only one Swamper of the week? It's Jaden Hill. We can all agree.
Yeah,
it's who?
Right, cool.
It's not a question. It's Jaden Hill.
Jaden Hill, our player of the week.
Yeah, it's basically our player of the week.
Oh, player of the week. I got you.
Yeah, it's Jaden Hill. It's not close.
Yeah, it's not even close. Nobody else deserves that slot.
For you guys?
Yeah, for this past.
Oh, for this past game. I got you. And do you want one for this game? I want to give you. I want to go ahead and give you a player of the game for this game.
Okay.
For you guys, I don't think it's going to be Anthony Richardson. I think it's going to be No, his name always slips my mind. I don't know why. I think he's going to be involved. I like his film. He's a wide receiver. Hang on.
Ricky Pearsall.
Pearsall. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, Pearsall is nice, bro. He's freaking dog.
Like, I've been trying to watch more Florida film, but
don't whatever you do, don't. I mean, well, you can. Just watch Brenton Cox and tell me how many sacks you think he should have had and how many sacks he does.
Well,
have.
if he would stop overshooting his damn gaps, bro, that's the one thing that's always made me mad about that dude. He shoots his gaps, bro, and that's what I'm worried now. You got me thinking about this dude because Jaden Williams is going to end up stepping up in the pocket. He's going to shoot his gap, and it's going to lead. Man, I'm telling you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, like, bro. I'm telling you.
So irritating because he's so damn talented.
That's why I said Jaden is going. He's going to literally slip so many like supposed to be sacks. He's going to get so many yards, bro. I'm telling you right now.
He's going to run right past him. He's going to overrun.
Yeah.
See, now you got me thinking about this.
Trust me, John. Trust me, bro. If I was not a Gator fan, I would choose LSU because of that. Literally, like I'm not even kidding.
I can't do that. I just don't trust Jaden enough. Not that I really trust Anthony Richardson 100%, but who gives me the more upside, Anthony Richardson or Jaden? Like,
well, due to the fact that Anthony had about 80 yards, how many 66 yards passing?
Yeah,
he'll probably have about 400 this week.
That's what I'm saying.
That's how he rocks out.
Have 480 yards.
Yeah,
with 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Yes.
Mighty. Bro.
Precisely.
All right. Hang on. You guys threw me off. What am I picking? You said
Song of the week.
Song of the week?
Yep. Yeah. So any song you want to.
Any song you want to.
Yeah. Tell us the song and we'll upload it with the podcast.
I'm trying to get my Spotify, like what I've been listening to a lot lately.
It did send me the link to the song in my DMs. Now I put it on.
And it won't get copyrighted or nothing?
Yeah, it hasn't before.
Really?
We're going to get in trouble eventually, but you know.
I'm just going to name off one that I've always listened to. Lucid Dreams. You know that one, right?
Lucid Dreams.
Yeah. Do what?
You said Lucid Dreams?
Yeah, Lucid Dreams. Man, I hate that dude died so young.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, and he never got that.
Both
it was tough.
Yeah,
dude,
you ever see how much we met Excess and Tasha one time on campus, Jerry?
Oh, that was crazy, bro. That was crazy.
It's nuts because that man never even heard. What was it? Was it Godzilla by Eminem?
Mm-hmm.
It had Juice WRLD. Like, dude, he never heard that. He never got to hear it.
Wow, that's crazy,
like,
bro.
When you think about stuff like that, like you look at Tupac, I was alive for that. I know you guys are young bucks, but when Biggie and Tupac died,
I grew up listening to them too.
Yeah, Tupac, man, like Dear Mama and like songs like that, bro. Obviously Biggie, we already know. Coolio was early 90s, bro. It was really hitting. Obviously DMX and all those guys.
Gone.
But it's amazing when we're sitting here talking about this, how much like rap has changed. And country. I'll personally listen to country. I hate it. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, I'm white and from Alabama and I hate country. I'm like the only guy that's white and hates country music in Alabama. But like, yeah, it's so funny, dude, because I'll go to like an Alabama game and they'll be oh, you listen to Brad Paisley? I'm like, no, we're not going to get in this conversation, dude.
Oh my God.
We're not going to have this conversation. You know who Twista is, bro? You want to have that conversation?
There we go.
Bro. Oh, man.
But we got Lucid Dreams on here, fam.
Yeah, definitely got that on. Well, yeah, with that, Jonathan, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. And we also appreciate Hunt Palmer for joining us as well earlier in the show.
Yeah.
That another great episode. And with that, we're going to leave you as we always do. Go Gators. God bless. Take care of your mentals. Take care of your loved ones and tell them that you love them.
Yep.
Take care of your chicken. as Marshawn Lynch would say.
Already.
You know,
Go Gators. Oh, and
Go
roll Tide against Tennessee.
Go football. Have a good game. Tennessee. and
Go.
Go football.
It's like
I'm
the
trying to
worst
see-
outro.
it's always, it is Go Gators. And once
Go
again,
team.
unless I gotta tell y'all this one more time, Gator fans, right over left.
I already know what it is, bro. I already know.
Oh, is there a certain way to do it? Really, right over left?
And over,
Oh,
oh,
I
and,
learned something new today.
and real quick before we get off, let everybody know where they can follow y'all.
Oh yeah, Jay Breezy II on Twitter, as y'all know, and I am Breezy II on Twitter. Jay Lamar _I on
Is that the only account there?
huh?
I got 17 of them burner accounts.
Or
Mid-
those account.
Mid Jerry Jr. for my medical advice.
Y'all heard it there first. Y'all know me, Marcus Davis 904 on Twitter, Marcus Davis _ on Instagram. No burner accounts here.
Oh,
Yeah,
he when Suicide Watch Marcus Twitter.
Bridge, hashtag Bridge Watch.
Jag
Oh my
Blue.
gosh. I'm gonna post a picture that's for Bridges and caption mental health check.
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna be right by the bridge. It's gonna say mental health.
Dude, that's
Come on with the Jags.
all right. College football, Jonathan Lewis on YouTube and at College FB Lewis on Twitter. And Roll Tide.
And with that, you guys have a great night and God bless y'all.
Yes, indeed.
Same.
God bless.